And we are live. Hey, everybody. Another
Hello. Hey
early
there.
morning spotlight for you, boy. But a little bit more on time for our guest today, who is sitting across from us, RuffyYoshi. Welcome onto the
Hi
spotlight.
there. Hello, everybody.
You might also notice we do not have Jake once again. That motherfucker went AWOL and is never coming back. Parentheses, he'll be back next week. But to help me this week, instead of going at it alone, I've got Vice and Kev on deck to ask art oriented questions with me.
Yeah, if we fuse, we become the Jake. I'm white on top, red on bottom. He's the opposite.
Yeah, I already said I'll be the unhinged one
Okay,
in his memory.
I didn't even fucking clock that. The color thing. And now I can't stop staring at it. Fuck me. Alright, so we have had some of the leads from Snoot Encore on previously. I want to say it was like just about 5 to 6 months ago, which is crazy to imagine that I've been doing the spotlight shit for that long. But, here we are. We persist. We're still going. So that's pretty cool. Let's start off with a question relating to just the passage of time and all the stuff that's come out since then. Like I said, a little over 5 months ago is when we first interviewed you Encore guys. And since then, a veritable ton of fan projects have actually come to fruition. Encore being one of them with the demo coming out. But we've also had things like Hold On To Me, Devlog, and I believe Megalomania is making some more progress as of recent, and they're posting stuff on that in their Discord. So, a question I have is, how does it feel to see so much content coming out in what felt like a really short amount of time? All those demos were sort of coming out within the same, I want to say same month. Like it was a couple of weeks where it was just bang, bang, bang. At least that's how it felt from my end, where I was like, oh, okay, I need to stream this. Oh, okay, I need to stream this.
Yeah, honestly, the whole Snoot fandom is just very bustling. It's really, really fun to watch so many people making so many awesome stuff. I'm seeing a lot of talent in this fan base. Like when I first joined, and as I talked with the people, it kind of seemed like it's like a little town where everybody knows everybody, and a lot of people are just very, very, very talented and passionate. So it shows how much of an impact the Snoot game had on like many people's lives. So yeah, it's been really, really cool to see so many fan projects come out. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to like check them all out. I just watched some footage for some of them, and they're really cool. Like they have animations, fully like original characters. Just it's really cool. It really, really is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know I was pretty I don't know what the proper taken aback, shocked, something to that effect when I first played Hold On To Me, because I believe that was one of the first ones of them all to sort of crop up with something playable, and
Well,
just
we
like
had
out the
Dev. Yeah,
what's
we
up?
had the Dev come out first. Then Hold On To Me. Then the more Dev.
Oh, right, right. Well, I mean, both of those, they kind of like begin pretty early on with just, hey, here's an animation. Hey, we put a lot of effort into this, guys. Take a look, and it's like, oh shit, okay, we're really going for it, huh? So, yeah, there's a lot of passion and a lot of skill behind all that. Also, apologies. I don't know how this. I guess I got a little bit ahead of myself. Um, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to people who might not be familiar with you?
Okay. um, uh, Hey guys, my name is Rafi Yoshi. I'm a Hungarian artist. I've been drawing since I was 4, and um, I worked. I mean, no, I went to a school of design, and that used to be my day job until I took up digital art, and it for some time that was just a hobby for me until it took up until I took it up as my full-time job in 2017 when I opened up my Patreon. Um, I got into the Snoot fan base not long ago, actually. I known about Snoot game for around like 2 years now, but I didn't have time to like play it because I had like a backlog of games to play first. Um, I played it like last October, I think, and I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic story. The presentation was really cool. Like I really just vibed with the whole cast. And would you guys like me to briefly just tell how I started the whole Encore, the visual part of it?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so what happened was I watched a playthrough from K Manon. They played the actual game, the Volcano High, and it was like a 6 hour stream, I think, and it was a little bit like hard to like get through the whole thing because it was long and well the story was kind of lacking, but at the end they were all giving their thoughts on it, and I remember that the sentiment was that they were disappointed about how they were expecting more from the game because after everything that they went through and everything that like Snoot game came out and everything, they were hoping that they were parodying something that's at least decent, you know. And I think I don't know who it was, and I'm gonna be possibly like paraphrasing a bit, but they said that this is like a footnote in history, like this whole situation now, and it got me thinking. It's like it shouldn't be that way though. These characters don't deserve to be a footnote in history. They are good characters that have been sadly mishandled by the custodians, and these guys made something so much cooler. So I thought to myself, let me take a look at the assets. Like, what can I do here to maybe I can do something to kind of like elevate their project from a freeware hobby thing to like maybe a double A level game. And I took a look at the assets and I was like, all right, I can do the sprites, no problem. Backgrounds I can do. So either somebody that does that for me, or I will have to use some sort of like AI app or something. I don't know. And around this time, I was on Reddit and somebody brought up the idea of a remaster. And during that time, I was doing kind of a mock-up image that you guys may have seen. So I commented, all right, just give me like just a couple of hours, and I posted my first screenshots of pretty much kind of a proof of concept sort of teaser thing. And by the time I woke up the next morning, it blew up. It had like 100 or I don't know if it was like 100 or like 300 up votes and just a ton of comments just encouraging it. And I was like, holy fuck, okay, so people are interested in this whole thing. So I started to work on the sprites in my free time. And then I was contacted by the dub team, the Snoot Game dub team. And they told me that they are interested in working with me to kind of like create a remaster to kind of like enhance the overall game, like with voice acting, a new coat of paint, additional story, characters, and everything. And they asked if I would like to like join, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I would!" Like so, and then it became Encore at that point.
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's one thing I've noticed about this fucking community, it's that you can put something out there, just thinking, this is a little bit of something, something, and that ball can get rolling pretty fucking fast. If I'm remembering correctly, Hold On to Me was not planned to even be a thing up until, like, I want to say Roach posted, like, a couple of pictures and was just like, this is a little bit of something. Maybe I'll, like, draw a little bit extra. And, yeah, people flocked to that, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, we're making a fan project. Okay. Whew. So, and I mean, even in my own Discord, people will you'll say an idea, and one of the artistically minded will kind of perk up. Their ear will wiggle a little bit, and you'll see the light bulb pop over their head, and by the next day, they've got something to show you. So
Nice.
yeah. Sec. Need to check something real quick. Okay. My bad. Okay. Vice, Kev, before we start digging into Encore some more, is there anything particular you want to talk about with Rufy here?
I guess I can throw in something. You said that you just happened to come across it, and I did see the Caveman on GVH stream too. They really did seem bummed that they put time into something so beloved because the base was so bad. Um, so I do agree with your sentiment on that. But for you to jump in and say, "Well, I'll just do a remaster," work on it. Do you have prior game experience or visual novel creation? Anything from your year? What has to be at least 20 years of art career?
Well, I did work on a mobile game for a short time in 2017 before I started my Patreon. After I left my job at an IT company, like I was hired by a very small indie company of basically a husband and wife. Uh, they asked me to help them make these like little like mobile games for an Android. It was a pretty simple game. It was one of those tapper games that you just like keep tapping it and then you get like resources and shit.
Oh yes, the
So
ADD simulators.
yeah that. So I did that. I did like a card game for them. I did a bunch of icons, but I think that tapper game is where I really flexed what I can do as a game creator. Like they had like bases for how they would kind of want to make things work. So I took time to refine the interface, create a mascot for them, a logo for them. So and the reception was really good. It's really unfortunate that I can't show you because it was taken down because uh do you guys remember the adpocalypse that happened like a
Oh
couple of
yeah.
The first or
years
second one.
ago?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I know that because of that, their company went under and they had to just like stop making games. So it was really unfortunate. But yeah, like that was I think my only instance of working on a game. But as for like graphics and when it comes to like interface and everything, I used to like do that for like many years. As I said, I worked for an IT company where I did UI and everything. So the UI that you see in Encore is reflected from my skills of when I was still working in that department.
And I'm pretty sure I can say, and the entire chat will agree, that it is the best that these sprites have ever looked. They are completely crisp, very, very well lit as well. Didn't we all have? We all said that Spears was very white, though. Uh,
I know. Yeah,
anything
I
behind
know.
that?
I know.
Uh, so,
Okay, uh when it comes to the characters, okay, so I'll just like talk about Spears because I'm pretty sure that we will talk more in length about the whole cast. Spears being white was a mistake on my part because what I was doing was I was sampling the colors from the original sprites, you know, and the original sprites had this thing that I really don't like is that they had this sort of like gradient overlay on top of them where the top of the sprite is all pastel color and the bottom is all dark color. And I
yeah,
couldn't
those
get
opera gradients.
yeah, I couldn't get a hold of the original artist, and I wanted to like ask him for the original PSD file so that I know exactly what colors to fucking use. But sadly, I couldn't do it. So I was just like sampling colors from Spears' face from the original, and I saw how white he was, and I was just like, okay, so this is either the way it's supposed to look, or I'm gonna get really like um, torched when this comes out. So, but I did like some of the jokes that I heard. I think like somebody said in the chat, or you guys said that Anon's fangs suck the blood out of spears or some shit. That was funny. But yeah, like I know about that, and that'll be like fixed for the final version.
Yeah.
Some people also said that he looks kind of small. Uh, all I did was just kind of slightly soften his look, but I think I'm gonna make him a bit more chunkier.
Bulk him up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
if you're listening to feedback and watching streams, I mean, that's the cool thing about fan projects is you don't have to wait 2 years and then buy a pass or an upgrade or a DLC to get these minor fixes. Which, I
I
mean, is
will.
creative direction, so.
I will. I will. Like, I've took note of almost every single feedback that we have been getting through streams and through comments. We also had that like little like poll or whatever the others put out, and there was like a lot of good feedback there. Some were kind of mean, but hey, that kind of happens anyway. But like, I think once it's like stop doing XYZ, you fucks, and like stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. But yeah, like yeah. So I am gonna be taking feedback and fixing things accordingly. I did actually send over some stuff that that we can show off the audience as we go on.
Yeah, anytime you want me to put something on screen, just let me know and I'll throw it on up.
Yep.
Um, whenever it's convenient.
Me.
And I will just say, if you're still looking for feedback, our homeboy Bui posted just as we went live his review of Encore. So make sure you check it out after the stream. Don't you dare leave. I see all of you in chat.
Mhm.
Yeah, so putting up it on screen real quick, we have the config that you had sent over regarding, this looks to be the different binds that you can use in-game. It's very
Yeah,
clean.
yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. So first off, that's the finalized look of the menus, and that screen is the new controls screen, and you will be able to rebind controls since some people did not like the new setup that I came up with. So I was like, okay, and we asked our coders if it's possible to add a feature where you can like bind specific controls to specific things in the game, and they said sure. So I went ahead and I did the screen then.
Do you have any idea how much work that took on like the coding side? Because I don't remember there being any sort of rebinding in the original game, and I don't know how much it took to really get that working in engine.
I don't know actually. Like, I am very bad when it comes to like coding. It kind of shows from the selection screen that I initially made with Sanya. Like, it's ambitious, but for Rampai, it's just too much because Rampai is kind of old, so it doesn't know how to like handle some of the animations that we did.
Right.
So
That makes
this
sense.
here is this is the settings menu. Some people had a problem with how things were segmented and how you couldn't like precisely change the strength of like the music, the voice acting, and stuff like that. So we are gonna put back the old sliders just with a fresh coat of paint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, people like it when you have a little bit more control over just how loud something is. Because I know every now and again there will be something a little funky about audio balancing in games, and it definitely helps the experience if you can just run over to the settings real quick and just tweak it just a little bit to get it right where you want it. I do
Mhm.
notice here how these sliders are at 100, and it looks like they can be raised even more than that if you needed to further raise the volume. Is that just part of the mock-ups here, or is that something that is actually in game and able to be done?
That's just a manga because I just wanted to like put 100 there to see how much space that will t- take up.
Right, because that's going to be the biggest amount of numbers there. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
can't help but notice there's a a blurred out setting there underneath the Encore soundtrack.
Very inconspicuous.
Yeah, like we are planning on like doing a special mode where every single character is fucking nude, and that's gonna be the most biggest boon thing ever. No, like that's a feature that we are working on, but it's not confirmed whether it's possible or not. So for now, I thought I would just leave that little teaser there. Hopefully, I won't disappoint though, but because it's a feature that we really want to add, but. Uh, I'll probably get some feedback from the programmers next week, and then we will see like if it's possible or not.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know the Pandora's box you just opened by saying that there could be a nude mod?
I know,
Like,
I know, I know.
That's gonna spread.
I
I
know,
saw Boob
Sonia.
Slider in chat.
Sonia, I'm sorry. I fucked up.
I can just imagine like the nude mod where you toggle it on, and at the first day, Anon's just like, "Okay, psych yourself up. You can do this. Just imagine them all naked." And hard cut.
And he just never stops.
He just gets so
you have
comfortable.
that panning scene of the first scene.
It's like, oh my god,
God,
there's so
they're
many
all
titties.
hot.
Holy shit.
I suppose that does cut out a lot of tension towards the end.
Oh, can you imagine? You have the fucking nude mod turned on, but you turn lewd content off, so they're all just blurred.
This is the Chinese dub.
No.
No, this would be Jav. I'm sorry, because it would be black lines for the Chinese.
Yep. Well, I mean, I would say that all of these UIs here look very good and very clean.
Thank you.
I don't think anybody's going to navigate here and be confused, which is surprisingly nowadays with games. They can't quite figure that shit out. I know like there's modern games where you will navigate to the settings and or controls and have to kind of like search for a little bit, albeit those are maybe a little bit more complicated comparatively to a visual novel, but still the practice of making something readily readable to the end user is, I guess, something that AAA devs can't quite figure out. But yeah, no, these look very clean and very usable. I feel like I could pass this to my mom and she'd figure out how to use it. So that's probably a benchmark for me. But yeah, continuing on here. I mentioned it a little bit earlier when we were talking about all the projects that were released and whatnot. So obviously, Snoot Encore's demo came out. It was played by quite a few people, myself included, and I was curious because anytime something big drops, the developers or whoever made it is going to be a little anxious about it. And since Snoot Encore had been announced earlier this year, there's been a lot of time for people to build up their hype and kind of mention it around. So, without a doubt, tons of people were waiting for this. So the moment that it dropped, it was being jumped on. I'm curious from your perspective, what was the kind of like the reactions from the team just about that time that the demo was about to go out? Like, how was everybody feeling about that?
Well, I was feeling pretty confident. Sonia was like downing a couple of bottles of vodka. As for everybody else, like I think that they were pretty okay. I know that we had an internal demo like on the dev server, and where we were checking for last second bugs, and the people who watched it, they were all very, very happy with how it came out. So then we went to the Snoot server and we demoed it. It was fucking crazy. Like the stream filled up to 100 people, and somebody had to kind of like cheat the system where like people like outside of the call could also see it. I think we had like several hundred people watching the first presentation. Like it was crazy. The team was like very, very happy. Like um, during this time, especially when we were showing off the new stuff like the animations, the new scene with Sage and Leo, like that, like the chat just fucking exploded. So it was really, really awesome to see like all the positive feedback.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I was playing that Sage and Leo scene, I think the call I was in collectively erupted the moment those two came on the screen, and they were repeatedly cheering throughout that whole scene.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
very well done. And to your point, I want to say that stream that I did also was scraping up at 100 viewers as well. So yeah, people were very eager to see all of that. And I didn't even get to it immediately. I obviously had to wait a little bit for my stream time, but still, people were showing up for that. It was an immense turnout. And we touched a little bit on it there, the reactions from the community, right? So I'm one guy. I had a couple people with me playing it, and so we were able to voice all of our opinions on it. But the overall impression was extremely positive. We very much liked what we played. We very much wanted more of it. But since you guys probably have more optics on it regarding the community at large, because you know they like to make themselves known, how does it look at a larger scale? The sort of reactions you were receiving.
So far, it's been very, very good. Like, I'm very happy that we received so much positive feedback, considering that there was a lot of skepticism about Encore. Like, some people were saying that it shouldn't be made. It's pointless. Some had doubts that we would ever even like have a demo. So, but some were receptive and supportive as well. So when it came out and when we showcased everything, like it was very, very. I was very, very happy to see so many people just in enjoying it, giving feedback. Like even I even tried to check some more fringe sites to see what they were saying, and aside from one, like even those were like pretty positive about how the whole thing looked and sounded. Um, I watched a couple of streams, yours also. Uh, there was only one streamer that was skeptical during the beginning, but by the end, he was a lot more open to it. Still slightly skeptical, but he was like, okay, this is honestly kind of cool. Maybe this will like go somewhere. So I'm very, very happy, and like the whole team is very happy, and it kind of reinvigorated us. Honestly, like we are just going like full steam ahead.
That's great
Yeah,
to
I
hear.
would have to throw in a lot of people, would be sold by the voice acting. Me myself, the updated art graphics definitely sell me. But then there's also the new content you guys have written and put in. Can you give an estimate? Like, is there going to be more of that? Like, a couple hours more, or just some more here and there? If you're able to tell us.
Okay, so from what I know, even though that's not my field, but from what I've been told, the original Snoot game I think has like 15 chapters, right? And I think like Encore has 20. So the additional 5 chapters are all going to be based on the characters that have lesser screen time. So Sage, Leo, Rosa, Stella. So in Encore, every character is gonna get like a lot more screen time, and we are also gonna be like doing slight fixes. For example, like ending 4, where Stella was kind of forgotten. We are gonna actually like give her a role there. But going back to the chapter, so yeah, like so from what I know, there's 5, and
So
there's
you hear
also going to
that?
be.
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say you hear that? There's 33% more snoot in your snoot. So
Yeah. Yeah, like honestly, like every single time, like somebody like asks what Snoot Encore is, there's only one thing that I can think of, and again, this is gonna be typical, but it really is a Persona 5 Royal situation, because it really is like Persona 5 Royal adds new graphics, new music, new content, new characters. Encore does the same thing, so it it really is the same situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never really got to experience Royal myself, but I'm familiar with how much stuff gets updated in that. So, and yeah, I would agree. It feels like everything got a touch up in Encore, and it's honestly fucking amazing to see. Especially given that I was relatively new to the community, so for me this is like a I play a Snoot game. A couple months later, hey, do you want to see Snoot game again with a new coat of paint? Yeah, sure. Oh wow, this fucking bangs. Let's go.
yeah, it's not even a
Like
single step up. Just with the background assets alone, it's its own league.
yeah,
So
like
massive bravo to the background artists.
oh, definitely. Like, some people said that it's not necessary and it's like too early. And my opinion about that is that look, we have the people here now, so we can't wait like a year, 2 years. We have what we need right now, so we are gonna do it like right now. So
Right, strike while the iron's hot, so to speak. You know, in
yeah,
like two
yeah,
or three
exactly.
years, there's no telling if anybody is going to. Well, yeah, let me rephrase it. There's no telling if the same people who are working on it now would be available then, and it only
Yeah,
makes sense that if you have the ability, go for it.
yeah.
But yeah, to kind of piggyback off of what Kev was talking about there, talking a bit more about like the Sage and Leo portion, because I think it's people who were more skeptical um, about just the project in general, if they weren't stamped down by the updated art assets, the voice acting, all of that's the shiny new bells and whistles, I feel like that portion won them over because it was a show of, hey, we get it. You guys are a little wishy-washy about new content. We're going to go ahead and give you some peak stuff out the gate here to show we know what we're doing. We can handle this. Trust us. Um, because like I said earlier, I know when I was in call, everybody popped off at that scene, and we continued to pop off as it went on because it was very well written. The characters felt very organic. The art assets were great. I believe it's the reference to home movies. I personally have not watched much of it. I was familiar with it, but I think a couple people in the call I was in were like, "Holy shit, they put him in!"
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
on point. It was perfect.
Yeah,
And you got to give a double bravo to the Sage voice actor because they killed it.
yeah, absolutely. Um, but to talk a little bit about those two characters, particularly Sage and Leo, um, those were, I don't believe, anywhere in the files in the original game. So this was sprites that had to be kind of, uh, you know, conjured up instead of referenced straight from Snoot. So I wanted a little bit of a discussion on that. What went into making the designs for Sage and Leo for Encore?
Sage Sprite was taken from Puppet Pals, and Leo was given to me by one of my colleagues who did a sketch of his base pose, but he had did a different outfit. He had like a hoodie of some sort, which I think is some sort of like an alternate form for him. So I had to like redo that part and give him the outfit that he has in Encore. But yeah, so like I had a base to work off of, essentially. Um, we didn't ask for permission from the artist who did the Sage sprite. Maybe we should have, but I hope that they still like what we did.
Oh, I think you're going to be very hard pressed to say that Faust and JJ did not enjoy that. Of course, it is for them to determine. Um, Speaking of on those guys, we did notice that the background characters, because during the stream they love to point it out, were a lot of the fan made characters. And you did mention permission. Did you have to ask for them to appear?
Uh, you're gonna have to ask the others about that. Like we talked about the possibility of having cameos just like all over the entire game, and I was like, yeah, sure. Like let's put characters in the background, and also into the animated scenes as much as possible. And that I will trust them to handle like any sort of like negotiations that have to be done to include the characters. Also, as a little tidbit, we kind of want to do little animations for these cameos, like in the background. So if you guys ever played like any adventure games from the 90s, then you probably saw background characters doing little movements like talking, moving about just a bit. We kind of want to like do something similar if possible. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I think that would add a little more pop to the background, which would be very neat to see.
And because it's been mentioned twice, I'm just gonna bring it up so they don't keep spazzing. Uh, Everybody's asking, where's Judy? That tends to be a favorite community character.
As soon as we have permission to have her, I want to put her in an anime scene, like probably the beginning when it like pans over like all the students in the school.
The Puppet Pals reference will go wild in that case.
Oh, yeah,
Lester eating good.
Now, are you gonna try to go for all the puppet girls? That's Wendy, Schizo, and Judy, or just
Well-
kind of pick out the favorite.
Well, Wendy and Schizo are the same. I think you're
Yeah,
thinking
I think
of
you mean
Heather.
Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like to refer to both.
Yeah, like
I can't keep these guys straight. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, I mean, if we have a permission to have the Puppet Pals characters in Encore, then definitely like we are going to include them either in the beginning or some other cutscene that's going to happen within the school somewhere.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm very curious to see your take on Judy if you manage to sprite her.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, with that said, it really does seem like if you were able to get all the permissions for that, in addition to just being like an update for Snoot game, it would kind of push it even further into the levels of this is definitely like a love letter for the community as well. Getting important. I would definitely. I don't think anybody would disagree that Puppet Pals is a pretty huge part of the community at this point because people think that they're part of the original game at this point. Like they blend so well in with the original cast that they're like, oh yeah, no, Judy and fucking Wendy are a part of. They were there the whole time. Look, points at the background. It's like, I don't think they were, but they're so beloved.
Fun little like a tidbit that I want to share though is that I did talk with the others that months ago that if it ever comes to it, I would love to actually include Puppet Pals as sort of an official DLC for Encore at some point, where we would like remaster all the assets like an Encore, except for the puppets, because they have to stay the way they are now. But that's for that's a sort of a maybe, like that could happen or not. But it also again depends if we get permission and all.
Mm-hmm. Well, that would be awesome.
Hold on,
Oh,
hold on.
that'd be so sick.
Was Puppet Pals called Final Mix or Remix? Because if you're following the Kingdom Hearts theme, then you can continue that as well. Do you
I
remember?
think final mix.
It was
Yeah,
called Final Mix?
yeah. I think it was a final mix. Yeah.
And then you'll have to call it something like Final Mix.
Is
You
that the
know
convention they go
how
with?
Nomura likes to title things.
Okay, so we will call it I don't know, Puppet Pals, like Chain of Memories or some shit.
Chain of snoots.
Snoot of
H-
Memories. Actually, it is a recapping, so that does work.
Oh my god. You're actually
Hey, I
right.
mean, that's literally what it is. Actually, considering if you call it Recoded, because Recoded is just a recap of the first game and a half, Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 1. So Puppet Pals Recoded Final Mix.
Yeah.
Little Kingdom Hearts humor. Someone says Puppet Pals Revengeance. I kind of like that one too.
HD Remaster 2.5 Final Remix. Yes, I think that'll be perfect.
2.8 over Snoot Days.
I like that one.
Man, I'm glad I don't ever have to like name anything, because everybody will throw enough suggestions at me that I can pick from them. Otherwise, you would just get fucking Puppet Pals 2 smile.
They're
Well,
done. Give me my check.
you'll definitely have to get ingratiated with the creators of Puppet Pals, and if you can, maybe send them our way. They've been the most recommended guest in the future.
We'll get them on here at one point. Don't worry about that.
I mean, you see their influence. I mean, look at Tiny Me. I'm a puppet,
Yeah. If
and
Jake
that's
were
made
here,
by the
he'd be
man
in the
right
puppet.
behind me.
True. Vice made like a ton of puppets. I still need to put a couple more of them in here.
Oh yeah, the knockoff puppets.
If I'm allowed to like share one little thing, me and the team kind of want to reference these Snootlings as well at some point somewhere, and I have an idea where. I'm not gonna say it now, but in my head I know exactly where we are gonna put those little like Snootling characters.
Oh boy.
That's gonna be fun.
Boy.
I told you, you're gonna be eating good when this comes out.
And everybody's gonna be eating good.
Well, you
am
know
very excited.
how content comes out. It's from drought to drowning all at once.
Oh, don't I fucking know. Oh boy. I mean, I'm never gonna complain. More holds out my plate. Seconds, please. More gruel. But yeah. I guess to talk a bit more about like art and stuff. As one of the visual directors, I was curious. The backgrounds of Volcano High in the Encore kind of go beyond what was initially shown in Snoot game, and show what I would say is more of like the campus itself and kind of like the size of the place. I remember remarking on it during the stream that, damn, this place feels really big compared to what I remember. Because in Snoot game, it kind of just felt like, oh, this is just a big concrete building, and we've got like a garden right over here. But when we were kind of walking around and taking a look around the place in Encore, there was like, I believe, it looked like there were extra buildings off just from the main one, which I would assume is maybe like the gym and something else. Was there anything on the development side used to kind of like figure out visually where everything should be going, kind of like a blueprint for the campus to keep everything sort of organized in that sense?
As far as I know, no. Like the only thing that we had was a sketch of the school itself, like what shape it is and that like where that first scene takes place, when Anon meets Master and Naomi. So like I did that sketch for our background artist because when he first started to work on the backgrounds, he did a completely different style for the school, and we had to like change it back to how it's supposed to be because of certain story stuff that happens.
Mhm.
Afterwards, um, w- whenever he so how things work is that we give him some references from Snoot Game and from Volcano High, and we tell him to kind of like try to like combine these things into one and work your magic, because the best thing that you can do is to just like let him experiment and like find his way through these backgrounds, because he always does such a good job. Um, the very few times when we have to actually like be strict is like um Anon's room or Fang's room that has a very specific layout. Specific things have to be like put there. But but no, like there was no specific blueprint. It was just when he did the school, then he had like a reference for how that area looks, and then I told him, okay, so now do the garden, which is next to that school. Try to kind of like make it so part of this background is visible in that background just from like far away.
Mhm.
So it was kind of like this, and it kind of just like got put together like a puzzle with like a couple of pieces. Um, I might actually go back to the cafeteria and ask him to kind of like try to put part of the outside of the school outside of the doors, because right now it's just white, so that there's no like no thing outside there. So we might go back and like add a bit of there so that it's even more cohesive. Oh yeah, like that background is fucking great. Like, that's honestly my favorite background that he did
Yeah,
so far. The from the school.
that's definitely one of the ones I was referring to when I was like, it really helps give like a sense of size for the area,
Hmm.
and that this is more than just this main building, because I would have to assume that these are part of Volcano High as well, given
Yeah.
their
Yes.
proximity
Yes.
and connection to it. So it really just, like I said, sells how big this place is. I think another
Hmm.
one, if I pull them up real quick,
Uh,
so
funny thing. Uh, uh,
yep.
funny thing about that. About the previous background
Mhm.
to this one. It was actually a mistake that he drew this one, because we specifically asked for the one with the staircase,
Mhm.
but he drew only part of the staircase and a lot of the school. But I didn't scrap it because I said, no, wait, this can be used in so many places. For example, when Anon falls down the stairs, it would make a lot more sense to have this background instead of the one where he's standing at the bottom of the stairs, like in the original.
Mhm.
So I told him to just like finish this and create a couple of versions, like one with fog, one with like daytime, and we will find places to like put these in the story. But yeah, um, just to finish my point. So when he did the garden background, what I did is I showed him this and just drew an arrow pointing that the garden is to the right side of the building, and I asked them to kind of like put the building still somewhere in there, just kind of like to imagine the area from a different angle where there's a garden. So
Mhm.
that was pretty much how we did it.
Yeah, I can like visually see how that connection would happen, just going around the building and ending up here at the garden.
Hmm.
And so it definitely has like that sense of cohesiveness amongst itself there, and I can, even though I don't have a brilliant mind palace, I can at the very least follow along with how that transitions there. Um, One thing that I wanted to quickly just take a look at is the comparison of the front of the school in the original Snoot game and the front of the school in Encore. So I mean, you take a look at this is I believe prom nights in the original,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
it's a fine. It gets the point across as to what you want to show, right?
Yeah.
However, if we take a look at that compared to here, it definitely feels the use of the perspective here gives it a much more in. I don't know if intimidating is necessarily the right word. It's got more presence as a building. It is there.
Mhm.
This is what is important right now. And
Yeah.
just the sheer size of it is much more apparent here.
Yeah, like he does such a phenomenal job with the perspective and just the angle of like all the backgrounds. It's never dull. Like he always finds a way to make it to give it a sort of a dynamic like camera angle. I just love it so much.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I don't know if either of the other art bros here want to chime in on it. I all I can say as a non-art guy is it make my brain happy. It really cool looking.
As an
Uh,
artist who refuses to do backgrounds, especially something this detailed, this blows me away.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I want to see his sketches. I want to see his underpainting because this is it perspective wise. It's in, look at the stairs. They're perfectly aligned and perfectly spaced. The rails all the way up, the windows. It's very nice. Um, I know that some of these backgrounds are gonna hurt me towards the ending of certain endings.
Oh
Can't wait
yeah.
to
oh
see how
yeah.
he does.
Yeah, I mean, you
Oh
can
yeah.
already tell
Oh
with
yeah.
this one, you already know which one, like where this is taking place.
Yeah, I think you guys were during the stream. You guys pointed out how one of the railings on the top is slightly differently colored, like it has like a sheen. That was not intentional, but it is kind of funny to have that sort of like Scooby Doo sort of like um, effect where everything is painted, and then there's that one little part of the background that's cel shaded. It's like, what's gonna happen there?
Your brain takes
Oh
note of
yes,
it.
surely this isn't an active frame. Nothing's going to happen to here. Cue giant door being kicked through it.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Oh, I hope he draws the door just like halfway buried into the ground of the grounds.
that's. I will make note of that.
Oh, there you
And
go.
you know you could have Millhouse trying to pull it out. Stacy sitting there cheering him on.
Look at you with the fucking ideas, Kev.
Free ideas, take them.
You can't tell me that's not funny.
Oh, it's great. No, I agree.
Hercules, Hercules.
Oh my god.
Oh, you
Eddie
know,
Murphy's still funny.
I am curious. I kind of thought about it when Kev mentioned it there, wanting to see like some of the sketches and stuff, like the earlier drafts of things. I don't know if that's in plan to maybe be part of like some extra stuff, like kind of like an art book for
Ooh.
Encore's development.
Oh, man, that'd be
If it
amazing.
isn't,
Encore
would you
art
guys
book.
be open to something like that? Because I think a lot of like the artistically minded would very much appreciate being able to see that process and kind of like
I
where
would
it
buy
starts
it.
to where it goes.
I think we could do that, honestly. I don't see why not. Like we want to pack as much content as possible into it. So I think it's pretty much on the cards, and it won't be much of an extra effort to showcase. Maybe we can like do like a feature where when you unlock a background, then there's like a button on there where if you press it, then it shows the sketch format, and then you can just like press that button again to show the full color one.
Oh, that'd
So
be fucking awesome.
that totally.
Yeah, I really wouldn't mind, you know, throwing some money towards the group for all the work y'all put in, especially if you're releasing the game, you know, as you have been. Uh, kind of tangential to that. How do you feel having your work thrown onto the Snoot Guru? Because you know people asset mine immediately.
I'm cool. Like I'm happy to have my art be shared and used in like projects as inspiration and everything. Like, I think I think the one of the fan games actually did use a similar Xbox style to Encore, which is honestly really really awesome. So I love seeing my art being used like all over the place.
Yeah, I just see it doesn't matter where you post it. Somebody will find Snoot art and put it there. It's wild. I know people that don't
Yeah.
even know about the Boogaroo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't frequent the Buru, but from what I know, yeah, no, like there's if you post art, it will show up there eventually, one way or another. Um, Something that Kev mentioned there, kind of kind of sparked a question in my mind. So Snoot Encore is a completely free project. You know, you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do.
Yeah.
You can just download it and play it, right?
Yeah.
Though there are definitely people, Kev, as he just stated, who would be willing to throw some money at the project, in order to, you know, help out with development and everything, however it would be needed, right?
Yeah.
Has the team had like considered any avenues for like donations or anything? I would assume that that would be something that would be on people's minds even more so now that the demo's out and they see that there is a product here. Would there be any means of that?
We have a coffee site where you can like donate stuff. Yeah, my colleague has just commented in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a coffee site where you can donate however much you want, and that will go towards the artists, programmers, um, the composers, and everything. So feel free. But yeah, the game is gonna be free. Like that's something that is set in stone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Even as a passion project, I mean, y'all definitely do deserve it. Voice actors to programmer, even you said composers. How many people do you have on the music team?
Mm, I kind of just like keep to myself in the art team a lot, but we have quite a few people, and they are very talented. Sometimes they show off work in progress stuff, and they are very very good. Like, but yeah, like I usually just I keep focusing on the visual aspects. The only time I interact with the other departments more in intensively is when it has to do with the visual part. So, for example, if there's a scene that I want to do that needs a specific music, then I will ask them for it. Or if there's something specific I would like to like do in the story, like a sort of like I want to do a specific sprite or something to happen, then I will talk with the writers and ask them if it's possible or not.
I get that. Well, is there um any quirks from this project you'd want to share? Anything you with this project that just stands out from other professional work you've done?
Um, Not sure. What do you mean? Like what I would want to like show off?
Oh, just the people you work with, or how the process has been. You know, because you're a directive lead. Just
Yeah.
how's it been different?
Don't really know what to say to that honestly. Like it
Eh,
has been smooth. Like I've had like no issues working with people. Like they are supportive. They give feedback. The only like hard times I ever found was trying to get the animations done, but that's because people are busy. Like a lot of the animators are in like in college, so they had like they had to do like final exams and shit like during the summer. So yeah, but that's really the only issue that I found so far. Like everything else has been pretty damn smooth. The oh yeah, like and I had a bit of a time crunch for the demo. That's kind of why some of the sprites are unfinished, as you guys pointed out during the the stream, like Fang's missing bracelet color, or Reed's eye color, which you spazzed out about. That was funny. Yeah, like that was because I was kind of stressed there. I had to like finish everything in time so that we could show off the project in time. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that makes sense. I literally nobody else saw the Reed thing. I don't know how my fucking eyes caught that. I think like it was just like
He's got
one,
very special eyes.
yeah, it was just one change, and my brain just went, you saw something, go back for a second, and I was like, what? Oh, wait.
And Fang's bracelet. They're just certain frames he would pick out the smallest details.
Well, I wasn't the one who called that Fang's bracelet. That was one of the other boys. The only one I really had was the Reed one, and I still won't be able to tell you how that jumped out at me like it did, but
Yeah, Humo is just live QA, so you get that free.
yeah. The thing is, though, even though those were like slight mistakes, it's not like it detracted from the experience at all. It was still very good.
oh yeah, I was just checking the comments. Yeah, Sanya mentioned the incident with the Reed sprite. So what happened was that two of Reed's sprites was differently colored from like every other sprite, and I could not for the life of me find what the fuck was like going on. It took like I think like 2 hours of like googling or something to find out that for some reason when I was working in Clip Studio, his sprites were kind of set to my monitor colors instead of the sRGB, because I didn't know that the Clip Studio Paint would like do that randomly, or like I don't know what happened honestly. Like since I used the base sprite from Snoot game to work on these, so maybe the artist there used a different color profile, but like and this was right before the demo was supposed to like come out. So so I was like pulling my hair out. It's like, why is Reed changing colors constantly? Like that would have been worse than the eye color change, because like his entire body like lost color when he was angry or something. So I'm just like, it kind of fits, but it's kind of funny. But I really gotta fix this, I said. So in the end, we figured it out, and then we exported it, and everything was fine in the end. But that was really like a last second kind of like a last second thing that we just managed to fix before the demo came out.
That is Reed being Reed, huh? Just not quite the right colors, huh? That's great. Color profiles are a bitch. I would assume so.
That's for sure.
Me being art guy. Yeah. Big agree there.
Yeah, I try
Yes,
to stay
I
on model
agree.
as much as possible, but if your dropper picks just the wrong pixel, you notice it after you get done.
Color picker.
Yeah, okay, so I can agree with that, because I mean, you guys have seen it every now and again. I'll like put together like a fucking something that I edit. Actually, last night I was putting something together for fucking Smoka and Ace. Um, yeah, just even the slightest like differentiation between the pixels on the color stands out to me like no man's fucking business, and I wish it didn't. I wish my brain would just autocorrect it. But yeah. I guess to talk a bit more about the sprites. One thing that really stood out to me with not just the sprites, but like a lot of the backgrounds too, and just the overall art, I suppose art direction, um, was how differently colored everything is compared to the base game.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think the way that I had ended up describing it at one point was everything feels way more saturated. The colors pop more than their original counterparts. And I guess I'm kind of curious how how was the decisions made regarding like how much would be changed with the sprites um, going from Snoot Game to Encore? Like the sort of direction you wanted to take with that.
Okay, so when I first started doing this, I had a different idea for how the sprite should look. I had a more comic book slash manga style for all the characters,
Mm.
but as I was showing them off, I was getting somewhat of a pushback. Some people were like not really on board with a complete shift in like style, and some people just don't like the overly dark parts of the manga style for like some characters. So, and after I talked with the team, they all gave me feedback that we should focus on enhancing the characters, but not changing the overall style, and keeping it as faithful as possible. So that's what we went with. Initially, I had a completely new color profile for like all the characters. You may have seen that from the promo that we did. Like I think it was in June, where all the characters had a little bit different color schemes than what they have now,
Mm.
and that was because when I got to coloring Sage and Leo, when I applied those colors to them, they looked too different from how they should. And then I was like, well, fuck. So every other character fits these colors except these two. So I was like, it's either everyone or no one. So I'm like, all right. I just went back. I looked for the ref sheets of the actual cast from Volcano High, and it had all the colors there, every single specific color. And I was like, all right, I will just recolor every single sprite based on this, and just don't touch it like whatsoever like anymore. And that's what I did. The reason why the sprites are a bit saturated is because I think the shading technique that I use, I usually use a more reddish tint on the characters that I draw to kind of like give it a more warmer tone. Now, when I exported that from Photoshop, the colors popped a little bit more than they should have, and especially when you import them into uh Rampy, then it fucking like cranks them up like even more. So when I saw the demo, I'm just like, oh boy. I mean, it looks fine. It's just people, I'm pretty sure, are gonna get on my ass for that one. And but yeah, like since then, I figured out what was the issue. Since then, I've changed the shading to be a bit more of a natural color, and the characters look way better, way more natural compared to the demo. I actually sent a screenshot of how it looks in the final game. If you can like put that up on screen, then I can show you exactly.
Right. Would
It's
it's this
it's
one?
presentation 05.
Yep, it's this one right here.
There you go. So that is how the game is gonna look when it's all fully completed. This is a mock-up. So this isn't like an actual part of the game. It's just to kind of like show how the colors and everything are gonna like um, work here. So what I did is I changed the shading to be a bit more natural. So, and also I disabled the sRGB like export features. So now the characters are fully naturally colored. So there's no like stronger like tint or like a sort of like fuckery with with those anymore.
Yeah, they are noticeably cooler because I'm comparing
Um,
them to some of the assets
yeah,
that were put on the Buru.
I've
So
also made the text box more transparent, and I've I put back the guitar pick that some people had a problem with, and also when Anna has like the thoughts, then his text color will change, so you will be able to easily like see when he's thinking and when he's speaking.
Okay.
that'd be neat.
Yeah, like
Do you know whose idea it was to do the silhouettes for the talking characters? Because that was amazing.
Mine.
Well, bravo. I'm pretty sure it's a reference to some game or like Persona. I've never played it.
We had a couple of ideas for the text bots. One was one idea was kind of like the whole persona thing, where there's like a big picture of the characters like down there as they are like speaking, but it kind of like took away from the sprite artwork, so we scrapped it. Then there was the style that's more like the original, where it's just the character's name. And then I was just fucking around, and like I thought, hey, how about if I just put like a silhouette there? And I showed it to the team, and everybody just loved it. And I was like, all right, this looks honestly really fucking cool. So I said, then I'll just like fine tune it, finish it. As I was doing the text box, I was also trying to kind of like mimic the original, because the original has palm trees and vines in it. So I was like, all right, let me see where I can like put some palm trees and like vines where it makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah, incorporating
I
what
do
you
like
can
it
where you
over the
can.
original. Sorry, say that, Humo. I didn't mean to talk over
I
you.
was I was just saying incorporating what you can where you can.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, I prefer this over the original 100 times. I like the purple, but this fits the setting so much more. It doesn't pop out too much.
Also, the text box is gonna change color depending on who's talking. So uh, if Nasser is speaking, then it's gonna be probably orange colored. If it's Naomi, there's something more skin or like pink colored. So like instead of having like the different styles for like all the characters, it's just gonna be a different color palette. Oh yeah, this is the new selection that's going to be done for the final game, because the one that we have now, that's too taxing on Renpai, and pretty much everybody that we talked to said that their game freezes for like several seconds.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so it's just not, it just can't do it. So Sonya came up with this style, and honestly, I really enjoyed this one as well.
Yeah, this one's very simple. It's straight into the points. And of course,
I agree with
selecting the
you.
Cox gun choice there. All right.
Oh, side question. How did you land on Cheeto Fingers Nacer?
Oh man.
Okay, so like stuff like the Cheeto fingers and Reed being buff, that came from the script itself, because um, I think like Anna mentions how those Cheeto fingers would like hurt, or something. There was some line somewhere where he made note that Nasser had those fingers, but in the actual sprite did not have them. So I said, okay, then I'll just like put those back. Reed made a statement once where he was like showing off his like quote unquote guns, and the sprite was kind of lanky. So I said, okay, so I will just make Reed a bit more buffer. His
A
bigger
bit.
hair actually, yeah, like his uh, his hair actually came from a fan art that I seen of Reed, where his hair was a lot more bushier, and I honestly really preferred it. So I thought, okay, okay, then I will see how this looks in the game. Same thing for uh, Naomi's more straighter hair than in the original. It's more wavy, whereas in this one it's a bit more straight. That also came from a fan art.
Yeah, I do distinctly recall the first time Reed pops up, everybody was kind of like, well, he's toned, ain't he? It's that
Yeah.
drummer life. He's got those drummer arms.
Yeah,
Um,
boy,
spe-
definitely is ripped.
um, wanted to like bring up something, if I'm allowed.
Mhm.
The sprites. Can you please open up the first picture that I sent you? Because I think people will like to like see this.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It should be the one with Trish.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, so people made note that they are not fans of how I drew some of her expressions, because my art style is a bit more, well, kind of like cute, I guess. So it's kind of hard for me to like draw very menacing faces. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go back and stylize the expressions for the characters that's more closer to the original. So like here, like Trish is gonna look way more angrier than like in my first style.
Yeah, she looks pissed
Oh,
in that
yeah.
middle one.
That's rage.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what you do with that. But when you do mention your art style, it is a lot more round, less pointed, and that is something the original, I guess the Caveman gang were really good at. Where there's a lot of angles.
Yeah. Yeah, like Trisha's face was changed because I personally did not like how she looked in Encore. I mean, in a Snoot game, because compared to every other character, she looked very human, very anime-like. I'm like, it's fine, but she kind of slightly sticks out. I'm like, I want to give her a bit more of a dinosaurish look. So one inspiration was Sira from the Land Before Time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can definitely see that here. I'm also kind of clocking just how big fucking Trish's horns were in the original. Holy shit.
I fully did not expect you to say horns.
I was expecting something else as well. Yeah.
Man.
But speaking of, somebody pointed out how I made her horns more stubbier, and they don't like it. The reason I did that is because if I made her like nose horn bigger, then it hides her like eye. So then you can't see like her expression like fully. So I had to kind of like make it a bit more stubby.
Yeah, all the I'm sure it's not a massive consensus on, things that people don't like. You don't have to try to appease everyone. Like, even the style you've done already is fantastic. So, I
Mhm.
mean, I see that you're
Thank
doing
you.
edits for just hearing some criticism. Was that a large amount of criticism or just a few here and there?
Fairly big. A lot of people were like pointing out how the expression for like Trish is not unhinged enough. I mean, she's cute, they said, but she's supposed to be a bit more unhinged, kind of like psychopathic sometimes. I'm like, all right, I will just uh, fix that. I also, when I was hearing the voice actors do the line, and when I saw the expression, I was like, it's not quite there almost, but I think she needs a bit more of a menacing face for that line. So, and speaking of, if you could please show the second picture, this is going to be a very interesting one, I think.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
So I brought it up in some chats that I plan to add scene specific sprites for the characters. So you're gonna see a lot more dynamic expressions for the characters based on like each scene. So here you have like Anon holding a food tray when he's in the cafeteria, instead of just like standing there like idly. So it makes more sense. You also have uh Naomi like screaming when she knows that she's gonna be with like Anon in like several classes. Um, Also in the first scene with Anon with Nasser and Naomi, like there's this part where Nasser looks behind them, seeing that people are like bringing the uh, the concert stuff in to the school. I thought he should like tilt his head a bit more, I think. So I did a bit of an edit where he's like tilting his head a bit more further. So throughout the entire game, you are gonna be seeing like little stuff like that. So the whole game is gonna be a lot more cinematic.
We're like 2 steps before animating the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
That'll be
basically.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Get ready for a 2 gigabyte download.
Hell yeah.
At least it's not
my
150.
Right.
true, true. I think like what like Call of Duty has like 150 gigs or something.
Yeah, no, those new. I have not touched a Call of Duty in forever, but I know a couple people who do play it, and they always grimace the moment they hit the download.
Games are getting ridiculous. COD is just very special in the fact it has to repackage every single update. So you have to re-download everything.
Mm.
But I am looking forward to being able to see all this. Because I know back in when I was playing Snoot Game originally, I don't think I got to appreciate all the art as much as other people. That's partially because of how I was playing it at the time. Given that I was giving voices to like a lot of the characters, I was focusing more on like the reading aspect, and so I didn't get to touch too much on the art assets. Usually it would have to be pointed out to me at times. However, given that Encore has full VA work and will have more of these sprites, I think I'm going to be in for a very visual treat.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I think by the time we are done with Encore, it's gonna be barely recognizable, but in a good sense. Not that it's gonna be just like not a Snoop game anymore, because that's not the case. We are keeping everything as is. It's just gonna be as cinematic as we can possibly make it without animating every single part.
Mm-hmm. I will say, once we flash this up on screen, I'm pretty sure anybody who saw it and had played the demo fucking heard that middle sprite.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Someone said very early in chat they want a slider to make Naomi's voice even more shrill and annoying.
Oh my god. I don't. Where would it start? At 50%? And then you can just go up from there?
No, starts at 1%.
Oh my god.
At the end, you literally can't hear her. But
Yes.
there's a dog in the background just always wincing.
No, I just want 100%. You just lose all your hearing.
Audio drivers crash.
Kind of
Yeah.
diving back into that previous topic. Arc is 600 gigabytes. If you tell me a game is half a terabyte, I'm not playing it.
Well, with
Yeah,
Arc's
this
situation,
600.
I think I want to say with Arc's situation, like the base is like 100 some amount. There's a reason I never went back to play it. One, the gameplay, and two, the just amount of fucking space it takes up on your hard drive. But they have like other maps too, and each of those maps is like, hey, here's way more fucking size you gotta set aside for this. Have fun. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me that it would be scratching up into that fucking level.
I
But
keep having
Boy.
side questions. You're
mhm.
talking about characters. Your OC here is a Scalia that would fit into this world. Are you gonna put yourself or a self insert as a cameo?
I would like to, if people will not get mad at me for it. Like
I promise
uh
nobody would,
I do
unless you
have an
take their
idea.
waifu.
No, hell no. Like I have an idea for ending 4 potentially, like maybe. So maybe like do that, or either that, or maybe if we were to like do like one of those extra chapters, because I kind of want to do a chapter where Stella and Anon go to like Comic-Con or something, but I will have to speak with the writers if they would be up to like doing a short story about that. But
Stella
yeah,
people
like
might get to eat.
yeah, I would love to include my character somewhere.
Now I've just got it in my mind that there'd be a bonus chapter with like a lot of the fucking Encore devs in like a fucking room, just head in hands, like shouting about things.
No. You take the dog ending from Silent Hill 2, and Anon walks in. It's like it's all your fault. All of you did this to me, and it's like ending 2.
Who are you people?
Oh no. Snoot Game said no. I
Oh,
guess you can't. I guess you can't have a Dino Con.
Well, to be fair, we did talk about like 5 different things there. That no could have been to any one of them.
Okay, I was just taking the least hurtful thing there.
Yeah, that's the least hurtful.
Oh, shouting.
See, I told
Uh,
you.
Okay, yeah, it's innocent.
They're all just smiling. They're all smiling at the table. They're at the Grinner table.
No, you put so much work into it. Having a self-insert feels like a little treat for yourself. Plus, we
Yeah.
all get to point at it. It's like, I know that guy.
I
Wait a
know
minute.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's that gecko guy who's in like a bunch of porn on X. Nice.
Well, if you want to talk about your art career and your presence online, that is up to you. For most artists, we would, show a small portfolio selection. We can't exactly do that here.
Yeah. Um,
Oh
maybe
boy.
maybe after we are done with like Encore, like I mean done with the interview, then I can like do like a bit of a talk about my journey as an artist, if you guys want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
It's about you
I
and the
mean,
project.
yeah. Obviously, stepping on for the encore portion and everything. That's one thing, but since you're here, we might as well get you for your art at large as well. Um,
If Jake was here, he'd say, "Nah, show yourself, dog. That's what you're here for." You know.
Also, somebody bite me. There we go. It's like Jake never left.
that was so bad. Oh man. Okay.
I got you, Jake.
Yeah. If anybody got Jake, at least you got Jake.
Oh yeah, re-punch Drunk Gator. I'll finish it eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If we're fucking lucky. I'm gonna go ahead and flash up on screen here the last image you had sent. Um,
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
That is very nice.
Ooh, me like.
So this is kind of an early peek at the how the title screen is gonna look. The sprites are obviously like not finished yet, and yeah, the guitar is upside down. But funny story about this: somebody on Reddit posted a much more earlier version of this because some programmer forgot to take that image out of the the assets. So I said, "Fuck, spoiled."
Whoopsie.
guess we're
Hey,
sending it.
if you can keep the 100% completion title screen secret until the full game release, I'll be happy. I know that'll be peak.
Yeah,
I,
like
I believe in you.
oh yeah, like we have some ideas with this title screen. There's gonna be a couple of versions. I'm not sure of the extent, but we definitely have some ideas for this. Also, something that I forgot to mention with the backgrounds. I am talking with the others to potentially do little animations in some of the backgrounds, like the tree leaves swaying, maybe clouds moving. So if Rampai is not gonna shit itself because of it, then we might do that too.
That would be great. I kind of mentioned it earlier. I think so. Snoot was a little more basic in that sense, that it doesn't have all of that, for example, and it works well in that context. I think if some of the stuff that you're talking about, like the background animations, were in Snoot, it would end up being a little loud, just visually, since again, I give a lot of props to it, the VA work and whatnot. Because that's there, and because you don't need to read, something as simple as a little bit of background animation would work very well, because you can look at it and appreciate it while the story is being read to you, which I think is very, very cool.
Yeah, yeah. Like I like kind of in a way, like once this is all said and done, like Encore is gonna kind of like play like one of those old like puppet shows where it's not puppets, it's like cutouts of the characters, like people like holding them like up, and they like change expressions and everything. So I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe that was just a thing like over
I
here
know what I know
in
what you mean.
East Europe. Yeah, yeah. So like it's gonna be pretty similar to like that. And I like honestly after playing the demo and seeing everything like slowly come together, I'm just very very excited to see our full vision just brought to life. Like the biggest hurdle I think is the cutscenes, and I have an ambition to make every cutscene animated at least a little bit. I hope it's possible, but people are very busy, especially the animators with their own projects and their lives and everything, which is which I understand. It's just, man, I really really hope that we can also do that, because for the demo, I actually wanted to have like three animations instead of one, but we could only do one because they were just like so busy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other animations would have been the introduction to Nasser and Naomi, and the third one would have been the first concert, which would have been more which would have been a longer one, because I have a lot of plans for the cutscenes and the animation, especially something like the rooftop scene. That's something very special. So I want to make it as least as good as Wani's rain scene, at least that good, because Wani's rain scene was done so well with the music, the CGs, and just how the whole thing like worked. And if we could make something like even better than that, that'd be really really cool. I have I actually have like an outline how I would like it to work, but I'm really gonna need the animators for at least that part.
Do you have a dedicated team of animators you want to stick with for consistency's sake, or you think you would have open calls for more animators? Because I know this community is hella creative. Might actually be able to pick up a few.
Well, right now we have a handful of animators who do a good job, but they're kind of busy. So if like anybody would like to audition for the animation role, like I'm totally open for it. I tried contacting somebody, but they wouldn't answer me for like 2 months. So I'm guessing that that person is gone, sadly, which is a shame because her animations were fucking stellar, and I've even offered her pay, but it just didn't work out. Like I don't know what happened. So if we could get like any sort of like help with the animation, I'd be totally like on board.
Let's just say somebody watching would like to apply. What's the best way for them to reach you or the team?
Uh, if Sonia is still here, then he can like comment. But I think like reaching out to us on X or in the Snoot Club, I think that's a good way. Or even on like YouTube or like any social media that we have, just like comment on the the latest post, I guess, and then we will see. Yeah, yeah. So like the Discord or X.
Mm. I I guess to kind of go off of that, would more portions of the team be willing for more people to contribute to this? Because I'm assuming at this point, now that like a lot of stuff is out there, there might be more people who have seen what's going on and would want to assist in some manner. Um,
Mhm.
Outside of just the art team, and you might not be able to answer for other departments and whatnot for the project, but is that kind of like a general consensus? Like, if somebody wanted to contribute, they're free to put in like an audition or like submit portfolio and see if they can assist.
I think that applies more for the voice actors, because when it comes to the graphics department, we are pretty much set.
Mm-hmm.
Writing is pretty much set. I'm not sure about the composers. We just got a new composer who's really good as well. I'm not sure if there's like any more spots open there, but I think we always look for voice actors. And as we just said, if anybody can do animation, then feel free to reach out.
Okay.
And for the animators, is it just the grunt work doing the tweens and you're the storyboarder, or would this be a collaborative effort where they'd be working on it solo?
Uh, I think it would be a collaborative effort. I tend to like do the storyboarding. Like, my ideal thing would have been is that I did the storyboard, the animator did the rough version. If I said okay, cool, then just finish it, then he fine tuned it. Then he would send me all the frames so that I can fix character proportions or character faces that might not be right. I send it back. They fix it, and then they just finalize everything. So that would have been my ideal version. So, but because people are busy, then it's better if we just get a couple of people and we just kind of like daisy chain the whole process, where I start the whole thing, I give it to like this guy, he passes it on to that guy, and then it gets passed back to me for feedback, and then I pass it back again. So yeah, that's the kind of like
Yeah, close to industry
workflow we're looking
standard.
for.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
with a
yeah,
with a real workflow, because
yeah, yeah.
I've dabbled in it and it's definitely requires a team. Um, yeah, hopefully this can help find some hands to get some work for you.
Yeah.
And just because you brought it up or touched on it a little bit, uh, do you think we could expect any Wani character cameos?
Uh,
I know it wouldn't make
maybe
sense, but
maybe a reference. I'm not sure. Like I was told that one, it takes place several years after the ending of like Snoot, so it wouldn't make too much sense. Maybe in the background somewhere, maybe one character could appear. I'm not sure. I will speak to the writers if this idea is feasible. I'm not against it. So like as long as the canon is okay and it is respected, I'm totally okay with like having cameos from Wani.
Just have Olivia
Going
go
back.
straight down the fucking hallway.
yeah,
No
Hey, wait a
breaks, so
minute.
full send.
Going back to the title screens, because I saw Cars ask this. Are you gonna stick with just the one title screen and then the 100% title screen, or are you gonna have like different ones depending on where you are in the story?
Uh, we will talk about this with the team. Right now, I think the plan is for this uh, one after 100%ing it, and maybe one after ending one. A
Oh
a
Oh,
man,
specific a specific kind of sinister title screen.
that's fucked up.
Now, we might do multiple ones based on each ending. Like we'll see like how much effort like it'll take. Although I don't think it will take much. It's just change of lighting and character placement and everything. So, but yeah, like um, we will definitely be doing little like Easter eggs based on what you do in the game.
oh yeah, very cool, very cool.
Uh, somebody, sorry, just to say. Somebody on Reddit brought up an idea that we had internally, and then it was kind of, well, not really leaked. It's just, I guess somebody had the same idea. Like during the beginning, when you see Fang, she like scoffs at you. So we had the idea, like in internally, to have her expression change based on your last ending. So if you got
Oh,
ending one, then she looks at you with like very scared eyes. With like ending two, she's like angry at you, and like and so on. I'm not sure if that will be implemented, but that's honestly a fun idea.
Yeah, things like that are definitely cool ideas, and it's those small little things that not everybody's gonna catch, but the people who
Yeah,
catch it are gonna be sitting there kicking their fucking feet.
yeah,
Alright.
yeah. Like we plan just to quickly touch upon the endings. We do plan on improving them, enhancing them in like some way, and that also goes for like for ending one to make it more darker. Like not not in a way that it's just like over the top, but like where it makes sense and it's tasteful.
Yeah, so
Right.
it's not
But
going to be like a QTE mini game or anything.
yeah. So like I'm still thinking about how to like do these endings, especially like one if it like needs animation or is kind of a series of pictures like one after the other, just gets the point across, and it just feels more sinister, because the original did a good job at conveying the direness with just still images. So I'm just like, do we really need to animate that or not? So I'm kind of like still thinking about that. Although that is still far away, because we still gotta because we still gotta like finish the script completely, finish all the sprites and everything else before we get to the CGs, because that's gonna be the final step.
Mm-hmm.
you think about implementing any of the cut content?
Yep. Yes. Like stuff like Anon like falling down the stairs like animated. Yep, definitely. That's gonna be in there.
I was
Um
thinking of like the E1 Nazir.
oh yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Oh,
Oh
this man
boy.
fully plans on hurting us for E1. Like, he wants to cut deep.
In a
Boy,
surprising turn of events, I'm looking forward to seeing how E1 plays out.
it's fucked up because
and
I was thinking that too. It's like, man, I
and
really don't want to experience E1 again, but man, I really want to see how they just punch me in a different way.
Actually,
uh
from the base Snoot, what was your favorite ending? And then compare that to what you think your favorite ending will be for you guys' version.
yeah, like based also like just to like say very very fast, like
Mhm.
since we have somebody on the team who has experience in some of these fields, then they will be able to accurately portray ending one. So
Oh boy.
Wow.
Huh. Well, that ought to be
didn't say anything.
interesting.
I didn't say anything, Sonia. Don't worry.
Um, well, we're not going to interpret that as you hired a school shooter for, like,
Oh
for
my
reference
God.
material.
Okay.
Oh.
I was
Okay.
thinking on the opposite side, but okay.
Okay. You know, thinking about it now, I probably should not have said anything, or I really put my foot in my mouth. All right. Oh well.
It's okay.
Don't worry, feet
An
go in mouth all the
experienced,
time here.
an experienced E1 is just all we have to look forward to, and we'll let our imaginations have fun with that.
Kev, I think you would ask a question, right?
Oh yeah, I was saying when you played Snoot, what was your favorite ending? And then kind of compare that with what you think your favorite ending of the Encore will be. See if it changes. Curious.
Oh, when it comes to endings, I got ending three as my first ending in Snoot game, which from what I read, most people get that ending. I
It
kind
was
of
the
feel like
cables,
ending.
wasn't it?
Um, I actually don't. I think, yeah. I think that's where I fucked up.
The cables get a
Like
lot of
the
people.
the
Just couldn't trust him.
cables, or no, like it might have been that, and also the rooftop scene, because I interrupted Fang before I should have, or I should not have interrupted her whatsoever. But I felt very compassionate for her, and I wanted to comfort her, and that's where the game kind of like screwed me over. But yeah, like I felt that ending 3 was the most real life-ish sort of thing, that I can see that happening in real life. Whereas ending 4, it's better, but it's kind of Hollywoody, kind of like a bit
Thank
too good
you.
sometimes. It feels kind of, it's a good ending. I'm not saying it's a bad. It just feels a very, very
Picturesque.
everybody lived happily ever after. Yay! I'm just like, yeah, but okay. So it's like a lot of cases in like real life that doesn't happen. Sadly, that's just the world that we live in. Ending 2 was pretty bad, especially the implications of what happens with like Fang and everything. And I almost said something that I shouldn't, that would have been a spoiler. Okay, I'm gonna be careful now. But yeah, like the implications on like ending 2 are pretty dire, and ending 1 just fucking broke me. Like, okay, so when I finished like ending 3, I thought to myself, okay, let me see ending 1, since apparently it's so fucking bad that if I don't get it right now, it might sour my entire um uh experience. So as I was heading towards ending 1, and after the point where like Fang brings her school back to Anon's place, and then they like do the dirty deed, and the next day she's gone, and she sends that poem to Anon. I just stopped and said, "There's no fucking way you guys are actually doing what I think you are doing." Are you like, no? Just tell me no, like, because I saw this fan art, this like edgy sort of like fan art of like Fang shooting up a school, like whilst doing this exact same thing, like like singing a poem, and I thought, was that based on this scene, based on this ending, or did somebody just coincidentally like just like do a similar like fan art? And I keep playing, and then I get to the school hallway, and I just, my hands are on my mouth, and I'm just like, oh boy, oh fuck. Like I was shaking like at that part, and but at the same time, I thought this is so brilliantly fucking written, because it makes sense, and this does happen. Like all it needs is, it's like that saying that the Joker said. It's like all it takes is one bad day. So it's like, so I just thought it was so well written, and yeah, like when I finished the game and the game just like quit by itself, I thought, man, that
Yeah,
really hurt. But
yeah, you
yeah,
don't
it
even
was,
deserve the credits for that.
No.
yeah.
Also, I have to commend you to literally see, even be spoiled and still just kind of go in blind. Because I had played Wani before Snoot, and even I knew about the E1 ending. But I can't wait to see how you take that trauma and give it to us tenfold.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, like we have ideas, but I will trust the writing team to make an ending that makes sense, because I have some ideas on how we could do it, but that might be a bit much, a bit like over the top. So I will trust the writing team to guide us on that, and I might have some feedback on there, because they do ask for it, but and once they have finished the script, then I will do as they ask, and I think we are gonna make a really good story, like overall.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
definitely have faith in you guys.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
if you want to go balls to the wall with like an ending 0, I don't think anybody would object to that.
What would ending 0 be? Like Anon just says, "All right, get in the rope."
I mean, he did just say, "Well, our ideas he might have to tone it down a bit." Can you imagine he's just like allowed to do what he wants?
Evil.
Like I did bring up the possibility of a fifth ending, but it was shut down pretty fast. So unfortunately, I don't think we are gonna get an Encore exclusive fifth ending.
Was it
My
towards 0 or towards 5?
uh towards a 2.5 sort of thing, where
Oh,
instead of
okay.
like instead of like Fang, like instead of like Fang having like a very shitty ending, where like Anon also had a shitty ending in like 2, but Fang's was like infinitely fucking worse. So it's like Fang gets the better end of the stick, where she has a shitty but okayish life, whereas Anon is just like full fucking like hobo or whatever. So I had that idea, but it was shot down because we already have like enough to like do with like all the with all the chapters and slight adjustments with the original story. But again, I just want to like say that we are not gonna change any of the tones. So no censorship, no wokeifying, no bullshit. So this is Snoot as everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, I don't know if you can go more woke than a non-binary teenager discovering themselves. So, I think you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've only got one more question here prepped regarding Encore. And then after that, if you're cool with it, I'm sure the art boys would like to pick your brain for a little bit about your art career. But we'll roll into that question, and that's regarding feedback. And we've touched upon it throughout the interview at this point multiple times. But just for the sake of having like a location where people can reference it if they would like to. How has the feedback been, and how has that played into kind of plans going forward, in the sense of maybe changing up how you do something, or kind of in direction that the project is taking in any format?
I think we are just proceeding as we have been so far, but now with a more clear direction with like all the with like all the feedback that we have gotten. As I've already shown, I am fixing the expressions. Colors have been fixed. Things are gonna be more understandable, more cinematic, and everything. So I'm taking into account many things. Now stuff like I don't like the Persona style UI. Well, sorry, but that's here to stay. Even though we kind of minimized it now, it's kind of started as a Persona thing and kind of evolved into its own thing, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I can
But
agree
yeah,
with that.
we are taking all the feedback and doing stuff based on that. Some people even brought up that I made the pupils too small for the sprites, which it was intentional to kind of have the characters focus a bit more on each other. But some people kind of like the bigger pupils, so I will uh, kind of like try to find a middle ground um, for that. Yeah. So to sum it up, we are taking feedback and we are proceeding.
All right. Well, with that, I think we can kind of put a nice little bow on top of the Encore spotlights. Um, I think everybody I've talked to at this point is very much looking forward to see what you guys do with this. And I will certainly be covering it when it comes out, and I will be having a good ass time with whoever joins me.
Nice.
But with that out of the way, Kev, Vice, if you would like, why don't you go ahead and start asking him a bit about his extended art career?
I do have one more Encore question.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, shoot.
As far as like, going through and updating all the sprites and everything, I mean, we kind of touched on it, or we might already answer this. What has been the hardest part, like as far as like retouching up everything while, not trying to go too far in one direction or the other?
I guess consistency, that has been the hardest part, and to get the characters to look as precise as my skills currently let me. Like, some characters were easier than others. Fang is the hardest because she has so many different poses and expressions. So getting her body proportions to be all accurate, all sprites to be accurate sized, all heads to be accurate sized. Like it took me the longest time to get his head to get her head right, because my initial version her head looked a little bit lopsided, and then I did like a couple of extra days of like fine tuning, and then I finally found the style that I liked. So yeah, like I think consistency like is the biggest hurdle for me to get all the characters to look concise when it comes to how they look, how they are depicted, shading, posing. I remember that Trish's sheet was a little bit hard as well. Well, not hard, just took some time because her original Snoot game sheet is. I kind of felt like she was a little bit rushed in some instances. Like some of the poses, her body just really like contorts and very much turns into like a very cartoony like a rubber hose, whereas in Encore like it's more precise, more accurate to how her body should actually look. And this isn't like a I'm not shitting on the original like guy who did this. I'm pretty sure that there might have been some like time constraints, or she was likely the final character that had to be like finished. So, but yeah, like consistency is what can be mentally taxing, but in the end, it's worth it because when I see the whole sheet come together and all the sprites next to each other and see it like actually used in game, then I just think to myself, it's like all that headache was fucking worth it because it looks
Oh
good
yeah.
and people are happy, and I'm just like, ah, good.
Yeah, like I can definitely see that with Trish. She definitely looks the more what's a good way of saying it? I guess the most human, like you said earlier. Like you can definitely see how like as far as like when it comes to like to her body and like her head, she looks like the most like humanish compared to all the other dinos. Is there
Like,
one that you were excited to get your hands on to kind of like fix up like I guess like you how you were saying about Trish with her horns or adding Nazer's like Cheeto fingers? Is there one that you were like excited to get a hold of to be like, yeah, I can't wait to update this?
I think like most of the other characters are all fine. I know that I was waiting to get to Stella because I had I have a specific vision for her because because she's such a she's such a weeb. Uh, like all of her sprites have a sort of like manga-ish kind of like, sort of like effect and like tone. Like she's one of the more fun characters to like draw, and I'm tempted to show a sprite or two, but I was told not to, and I was like, all right, fine, I won't. But like I really had fun like doing her sprites. Like Rosa is pretty much the same as she was. I just had to like update her into my own style. Oh yeah, like I also have created some new poses for some of the lesser characters. Like uh, Tracy has a few new poses. Fang's parents have a few new poses. I'm actually asking my assistant to help me like create some new stuff. Like for example, Fang's dad like holding a golf club. Like it's so kind of like kind of like holding a golf club like you would a baseball bat. So it's like stuff like that I'm like I'm like doing with the sprites. So I'm thinking like what other character was no I think like Trish was the only character that I really felt like I had to kind of fix. As for everybody else, I just had to update it.
Do you think it was easier like updating those sprites or creating new ones for like Sage and Leo or like
It's
McGurk?
it's easier to update it than to make a brand new sheet. Also, like yeah, like uh, McGurk. I haven't watched the cartoon that he's based off of, but I was told when I started to work on him that people are gonna fucking love it, and I'm like, okay, I'll take your word for it. I also just to say I loved all the feedback that you guys gave. Like Goku from home movies and Vegeta, I laughed my fucking ass off when I was reading that. That was so funny. Also, what was that like? Other comments like these dino nuggies made me look like a pregnant lesbian. Like I was like, why does that check out so much? It's like, yeah, he does look like a pregnant lesbian. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I think that was the last few questions I had about Encore.
Okay, I hope I didn't go like too much off on the tangents, because I just had like a lot to say, because I'm very passionate about the whole project. I just can't wait to like show more, and we might do a second demo at some point. It kind of depends. I spoke with the others, and they said if we really need to, then let's do a second demo like at some point. And if that happens, then you're probably gonna see finalized versions of everything. So when you play that, then you will get a taste of what the final game is actually gonna be like.
Hell yeah! I mean, hey, if a second demo comes out, you best believe I'm gonna be playing the shit out of that.
And spotting every little inconsistency his specialized finds.
If they can find anything, I don't give my eyes that much credit. I just kind of like spurg out every now and again and notice something.
Oh no, a singular black dot in Sage's glasses.
Yeah,
I would notice some shit like that, honestly. But yeah, no, and don't worry about like tangents or anything. Like we usually tell every single guest, tangents are more than welcome. Because at the end of the day, it is a spotlight for the creators that we have on. If they want to run a tangent, by all means, they can run a tangent. Just as long as you're here for the entire fucking spotlight. Unlike, man, sometimes I just think about that crow spotlight, man, and
That'll
it just
haunt
sends
you
me.
forever.
It fucking will. Okay, a little bit of context for you, Ruffy, is we had one of our in-house artists on. He's a silly little guy. He needed to leave in the middle of the spotlight, so we had to cut it short, and we told him, okay, we can get you on for a second part, essentially, so we can kind of wrap up everything that we were doing. That second spotlight is the next day, and it just goes horribly wrong. At like so Jake ends up just genuinely leaving in the middle of the spotlight for like half an hour, or like I don't remember how he had to step away because he had lost his mind at that point. The guest Crow that we had on ended up walking off to go get dinner and eat, leaving me and two others that we had pulled on at his request. And they just I was out of it at that point too, so I just started playing Sudoku on the TV in the background while they talked. It was a fever dream of a fucking stream.
Wow.
But you know, I've got that to always be like, hey, as long as we aren't hitting that point, everything that goes on here is perfectly fine. There was one, I believe it was Warsmith Scrag, we had on as well, and I think near the beginning of stream they got to talking a little bit about Sparking Zero, and Jake's just like, hey, you want to go play Sparking Zero a little bit during while we talk? And so I just popped up on the back of the screen there, Scrag getting his ass beat by Jake while we were asking questions. It was hilarious.
Wow.
This spotlight fluctuates between somewhat professional to completely off the wall, and it's always a coin flip as to what exactly is going to happen on any given day.
We like to have fun here.
That we do.
This is actually my first ever podcast that I've ever been on.
Well, hopefully it's it's been a good one thus far. I try to at least make sure that happens.
Yeah.
Like I just hope that people still understand me despite my stuttering and my accent.
Oh, you're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. And I mean, me and Vise, even together, don't equal a tenth of the unhinged Jake would have provided. So this has
Oh
actually
yeah.
been very calm.
I feel like Jake would have been behaved.
Oh no, I think we hit all the Jake points so far.
What, where you threw in somebody bite me and then read punch drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a machete or else I'd hit something.
He hasn't done that on fucking Spotlight, right? I know he's done it in the
Yeah,
VC.
yes.
He has?
Yes, because we have it
Which one?
recorded.
Which one was it? I can't
I
remember.
don't know, but there's a soundbite of it.
Well, I mean, if there's a soundbite, that meant it'd come from stream, right?
Ah, that's fair.
Wait, soundbite for what?
Jake hitting
Uh,
shit with a machete.
Oh yeah, the watcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what stream it was.
Alright. Well, uh, Vice, Kev, I open up the floor to you guys, since I have no more prepared questions and I know you guys were doing some research. You got any questions you want to ask about Ruffy's art?
Oh,
oh
I was gonna
yes.
throw something in about the tangents, which you really don't have to worry about those. Not only does that show enthusiasm and passion, which everybody loves to see, um, so that's kind of more of a boon to you than anything else. But
Awesome.
Vise, you had something? Let you start. You've been quiet.
Yeah, I guess the first question is, man, how do you keep up with that output? Like you
Well,
post crazy amounts.
yeah, well, thing is that I draw every single day, so I don't really have like any weekends or like holidays, or very very rarely, like maybe one or like 2 days a month when I take it a little bit more easy. My friends just got me into playing a bit of Minecraft, um, so I hang out with them or we watch a movie or something. But I'm usually just like doing art every single day. Since I run a Patreon, I do like 5 colored art and up to 24 sketches. And so like every single day I have to like do something to be able to finish my work. It's my only source of income.
Income.
Like ever since yeah, like ever since the team that I was hired for had to like fire me because of the apocalypse in 2017. Like Encore is like a project that I've been kind of wanting to do because I do so much not safe for workout. I just thought to myself, I really want to like do something a little bit different as well. And then this whole thing like came along and I'm just like perfect. So but yeah, like I'm pretty busy. Like I do a lot of art, but I love doing it. I really really do. And I feel very blessed and very fortunate because I worked for like other people, and this work that I do is honestly just better for. I can just like draw for people. They are happy. They pay me, and I don't have to like answer to like anybody really. I mean, I answer to my patrons, but we got along really really well. So yeah, like it's a lot of work, but I love doing it. And Encore doesn't. It's not too much for me to handle th- this as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was curious about, like, being a art director for this and then having your own Patreon with, like you were saying, like all these sketches and colored artworks. I figured like, holy shit, you must be like not struggling, but like overworked. But it sounds like, this is not really a job for you. This is just you having fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
like
he is in the
I'm just
truest
having fun.
definition a professional artist. He doesn't have to have
Oh
a
yeah.
wagey job like, the rest of us. Which, I mean, that's the end goal I'd like to hit as well, so.
Oh yeah. I think everyone, like anyone who does art would love to hit that goal of just not having to worry about a job and just being able to just do what you love every day.
And for anyone in the chat or watching this, we can't exactly show his expansive portfolio, but it is a ton and it's very consistent.
Oh yeah,
And
let's
that
just
that leads into a question I was going to say, and I don't mean to cut you off.
oh, you're good.
Um, the Snoot characters, are definitely a step away from your toony soft style, if I can call it that, and they're definitely more towards anime-ish realism. I guess that'd be a way of putting it. Uh, how much practice did you have to do with the characters before you felt like you were confident with them?
I didn't. I just started. Like,
Oh, he just does it,
uh,
you know.
yeah, yes. So what I did, the only thing I changed is that I kind of slightly changed my cell shading to be because I kind of felt like my cell shading is I'm still trying to like fine tune everything, but for Encore, I kind of felt like I had to simplify my cell shading just a little bit, otherwise I'm just gonna like take way too long. So I changed the light source from the top left to just the top, and to only use the second layer of like shading on like the armpits or between the crotch area under the breasts or like some like very like darker more area to kind of like simplify the cell shading. Which since then I'm actually doing that in my main art work as well because it saves me some time and my art still looks good. My latest endeavor is to kind of like try to make it more softer, more painted, like what I used to do like a decade ago. I did mention before the stream that I had to kind of like change to a cell shaded style because of an incident that happened to me. So like to quickly touch upon that, what happened is that I got sick. I went to a doctor. He gave me a medication that is, according to a friend of mine who works with doctors, it was a very bad idea to give me something like that because it's basically like shooting a magnum at an itch. So it's that much of an overkill.
Okay.
Um, it severely um, it poisoned me. It severely damaged a lot of parts of my body, like especially the tendons. Like I was barely able to like walk for like several months. Like my drawing hand started to kind of like fall apart. Like even like r- it's basically in a permanent it's permanently in like a cast like from the elbow down because um the tendons in my elbow are like severely damaged and my arm can like only function when it basically has like a compressor on it. So yeah, like because of this I couldn't do the painted style because that requires a lot of arm movement, so I had to switch to do something that's like a lot more simple. But I've gotten somewhat better, even though it's still like in this situation. But I kind of feel like I'm able to like put more effort into like doing my art a bit more detailed and a bit more painted, the way I would like. So that's been my endeavor as of just a couple of weeks ago, I think, when I actually like started like try like all sorts of brushes. um, I would show it on stream, but unfortunately, it's all not safe for work, so I can't. But you guys did sample some of my older art and some more recent safe for work stuff. So if you want, you can like show those off, and then I can talk about those.
Um, we will be able to pull those up in a minute.
Okay.
Humo had to step away. When he comes back, we'll finish to do that. Um,
Okay.
in the
Okay.
meantime, I suppose. Um, okay. For your commissions that you've, because me and Vise, we kind of scrolled through them. Um, and I get a chuckle out of just some of the pairings you were told to draw or paid to draw.
Oh my god,
W-
it's like
without
crossover central.
is without being too specific, or you can be if you want to. Has there been a commission that just made you laugh with just kind of how ridiculous it is, or just kind of tickled you?
Thing is, those were not technically commissioned. What happened was on Patreon, I did this sort of like voting leaflet where I had like uh male characters and female characters, and there was a grid of like mascots from like all sorts of cartoons, anime, games, and everything. And what happened was that people would circle these characters, like one from like each section, and then I tally how many votes did one character get in like one section, and then like pair them up with the character that got the most votes in the second section. So sometimes there were ties. Then I would like throw in my own vote based on if I can actually like do a pairing or not. Some of them were kind of funny, yeah. But like this went on for like several years. I think like 5 years, and nowadays I kind of just like draw whatever I feel, and then I do commissions as well. I will eventually maybe like go back to like doing those crossovers. Uh, the idea came from like a site called Pal Comics. I think that's what
Oh
it's called.
Yes.
wow.
Yeah, no, I understand. That
Yeah.
actually
So like
clears up a lot. um,
yeah
very interesting, for sure.
yeah yeah. Like I saw some of those comics and uh it's okay, I guess. Like some of them are clearly just done for a paycheck, though. Like some of the like comics are very rushed. Like just wow. So like
Yeah. Um, well, as far as the artwork itself, it's fantastic. That's all I can really say.
thank you,
Um,
thank you.
Vise did have a compliment for your line weight. Uh, what is your process for sketching? Because you said you use CSP.
Yeah.
Just run through a little bit of the technical side of that if you can.
Uh
Like, do you freehand it, or do you rely a lot on the stabilizer, or do you have these poses in mind, or how
uh
just run
I
through it?
have a stabilizer of course for like all for like every single tool that I use. Um I sometimes use a reference drawing and I kind of like sketch over it. Kind of like if somebody asks for like a specific pose and they have like a reference art that I could use, then I could like kind of like draw the character shapes like over that, kind of in a similar pose. Um, I still struggle with stuff like that because like after I'm in the inking and coloring it, it's kind of a routine for me. So the sketching part is always the hardest. I'm trying like all sorts of techniques to see which one fits more. Like sometimes I do the whole boxes thing, then the circles thing, like trying to like draw the characters from like beans, maybe do a silhouette. So I do like all sorts of stuff like that to kind of like test which will be the best for me.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. I'd be very surprised if you could just bust out the pose exactly, you know. But you have plenty of years of practice, so it could have been possible. Um, you said that you used Psy and then uh, Clip Studio. Is that the only two you used, or what was your software process?
Well, yeah, like Psy was my first go-to. I did try Photoshop at some point, um,
Terrible
but
for
it didn't
inking.
have. Yeah, uh, it was it didn't have like a stabilizer. Guys, can I please be? Can you guys please just give me just a couple of seconds? I need to grab a glass of water because I
Yeah,
am
yeah,
just
yeah. Fine,
fucking
Yeah,
you're
sure,
good,
by
man.
all
Yeah,
means.
dry. Sorry.
he had an Olivia moment. It's okay.
I mean, that's why I've got my bottle of water right here.
You
Got
know,
my
for the
handy
first
agua.
for the first 2 weeks of listening to you, I thought you were just taking massive bong rips. That's
Yeah,
literally
I've
what it
heard that.
sounds
I've heard
like.
that before.
Bro's just killing one live on stream.
What? He does it on purpose, I swear.
I
It's
don't
like,
do it on
yeah.
purpose. The only time I did it on purpose was during the fucking round table, and that's just because of fucking fucking pig.
Oh, hey, did you know Pig likes to smoke?
No, I would have never guessed.
Do you think he does it in the pig mask?
I mean,
Yeah,
he'd have to, right?
hotboxing the pig mask.
Exactly.
Oh man.
If you want to pull up those two images, you could do it side by side. Um, some early examples of his work.
Okay. Yep. I will pop those up.
And then I think he did it way
Ah, there,
higher.
there we go.
He has yeah
I'm
the
back.
mechs. Just do one of the ones on the bottom and one of the mechs.
Okay, sorry. Like my I couldn't like talk anymore, and I couldn't like stop coughing because I don't talk this much usually.
Oh yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. Look, I talk all the fucking time, and I still have a bottle of water on me at all times, because after a certain point, yeah, the voice starts to go.
Can you believe this man reads for most of his channel?
I would say like half of the channel at this point. You know what I mean? The other half is me just dancing on one leg and honking a clown nose.
Oh man, that's a really really old artwork. So okay, so fun fact: the name RuffyYoshi like came from this because this is my first character, Ruffy. So like, and he's a Yoshi. So like, that's kind of where like the whole thing came from. Creative, I know.
Very straightforward.
So yeah, like I came up with this fan character like in the early 2000s because I think I was in my early teens then. I'm 35 right now, so I was in my early teens. Um, I was really into watching One Piece, but the only way I could watch it was the German channel, and in German, Luffy is called Ruffy. So I'm just like, okay, I like that name. I'll just take it for myself.
This is mine now.
Yeah. So I created this character. I also had like a Trico, a Pokemon. I had like a Koopa character, and then I had that dinosaur that you shown just now. That dinosaur actually evolved into my current uh, character.
And that would be this one, correct?
Uh, this was the one on the left. Yeah, that was a kind of a first version of my current character.
Hmm.
And then in like 2017, I redesigned him because these this type of character, these scalies are actually they belong to a friend of mine, and when I told him that I was gonna like use him in like a lot of art, he kind of asked me to change his appearance because he doesn't really want to see his creations in like not safe for work stuff just yet.
Mm.
And I was like, all right, then I'll just like change his like overall species. So during that time, I was watching a Let's Play channel play through Gex, and I was like, that I'll I'll just take that. So then his first color palette was like fully like Gex until I changed it to the current one.
Yeah, I thought I recognized it being his Gex, just without the
Yeah,
shades.
yeah.
Um, it is up to you whether or not we show the one I just put in the VC. That is, whether or not you want to
Anyways,
showcase that. I do have the Trico you were talking about.
oh yeah. If you want, you can showcase those.
Okay. While he's doing that, uh, were you obviously a fan of Yoshi? Did you enjoy Yoshi's Island?
Yoshi's Island is one of my most favorite games from my childhood. Like
I don't think I ever
there
beat it.
was it's it is really good. It's like it's in my top 5 or like top 10 games of like all time. Like everything about it was just so good. Graphically, sound wise, gameplay, everything was just so damn good. I also I remember that in the 90s, I don't know if this was just a local thing. Like over here, there was this like magazine that some like kiosks would like sell, where you would like collect screenshots of games for that little book slash magazine, and we specifically got one for Yoshi's Island. So like every single week or every couple of weeks, we would like go to a kiosk and buy like packs of like um, screenshots, and we would just like start to like fill it up, fill them up like a photo album. So by the time we got the game, we saw like a lot of it, and we were just like super hyped to finally get to play it.
That's neat. Hmm. And I guess you're a Pokemon fan as well. What's your favorite generation?
I used to be like I stopped playing it, but
Oh, I'm
yeah,
right
like
here with you, man.
my favorite one was uh where this character was there.
Gen 3. Yeah, Hoenn.
Rico, that was like Gen 3. Yeah.
Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Which
Yeah. I think I played Sapphire. I think.
Hey,
I was
so did
always
I.
big with Emerald. I did get Sapphire eventually, but Emerald is the one I like the most. I'm still a Generation 1 kind of guy.
I played blue.
I had my first game was Yellow.
I played blue and that's it.
I mean, I only played Sapphire, and even then, I don't think I finished it because I was pretty young and didn't quite understand it all the way.
Oh, Sapphire was probably one of the harder games to start with
Oh, thank
because it was
God.
ruthless. Yeah, no, it was ruthless. Emerald some parts were easier, some parts were harder, but you could also just get Rayquaza and just kind of breeze through the end game.
Oh no.
What are you knowing for?
I don't know. I hear Rayquaza and I just get evil. It's just evil aura.
Hey, the second glitch I ever learned was how to dupe Pokemon, and I was giving out level 75 Rayquazas to people I knew.
You fucking Rayquaza dealer, what the fuck? Evil.
Yeah.
Hey, kid. You want a Pokemon?
Hey
You want
kid,
a you want a Sky Dragon?
you want a shiny Rayquaza?
Man, if I had an action replay, I would have definitely been selling shiny Pokemon back in the day. God, I was selling everything back in the day.
Young entrepreneur sells shiny Pokemon. You know, it wouldn't be too dissimilar from just like selling cosmetic skins for thing. I mean, to be fair, you're also getting Rayquaza on top of it, but it is shiny.
Oh, what I would have done, not even joking, is get a second cart and just start getting shiny starters. That's the number one thing I would have probably sold.
Yeah, that would sell like hotcakes, I'm sure.
Have you seen how much Pokemon games are worth now? Let alone the handhelds. God, the retro gaming market is definitely doing something.
Speaking of Pokemon, my friend got me to try Pal World a couple of months ago.
You gonna start drawing Pal World characters?
Not drawing, just to play the game. Like even though I work on a Mac, I try to kind of like get it to work, which I managed to an extent. Um, but again, he's really much a fan of like modding the shit out of everything. So I kind of had I kind of had to adapt. But
Well,
it was fun. I kind of wonder where the whole like lawsuit is gonna go between them and Nintendo. It's interesting.
it's basically just a slap suit. It's not gonna go anywhere.
Mm,
They only want 100,000 USD, which is $1 billion company. It's just a
yeah,
scare tactic. Hopefully,
uh,
they don't win that.
yeah,
But did you happen to see the Power World and Terraria future crossover?
yeah, yeah. I did, and my friend is still like baffled about it, and like so am I. It's just weird.
I had to learn how to use Wine Wrapper to play Terraria when it first came out because all I had was a MacBook.
Yeah, I mean, with that crossover, I don't think there was anything like anybody like saw coming down the pipeline. That just kind of like came out of left field, and everybody did a double take. Like, wait, who knew?
Oh, it's like the Dungeon Defenders, and then Don't Starve. It'll just be something that just works. There's also a Project Zomboid one that was supposed to happen.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
Instead, it kind of fell through, but there's a super rare drop in Project Zomboid that is a Terraria item. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, you'd have to ask Jake. He's the Project Zomboid guy.
Well, I guess we can show that next image, and
Alright.
we'll talk about that era.
Alright. Stares at fucking cars.
Got you, cars.
Oh yeah, that part.
That
It's
part.
not shame.
So-
It's just we've moved on.
So I'm guessing you guys can already like tell which one is my character there.
Oh yes, it's just Luffy,
Yeah,
Ruffy.
yeah,
Ruffy.
basically, yeah. Yeah, like I always considered Ruffy to be kind of a pervy version of Luffy. So
Well, he is staring directly at a character, so I guess it works.
exactly. See,
Uh,
like,
what that tail do?
we do have community questions, but this one fits, and it's one of the first questions we were
I
ever
was
given.
about to ask that one. You go ahead,
Oh,
though.
go. Oh no, you can go ahead.
Okay.
No, it's fine. You go ahead. You're not on all the time. You can take this one.
So, question was, even if it was your opinion then or even now, who is best pony? Who's your favorite? Doesn't even have to be in the main six. Just any.
I generally just liked the main six as a whole. I kind of felt that their dynamic was like really good. But if I had to like choose one, I kind of liked Rarity a lot because, well, being an artist, and she's also kind of a like fashion designer slash artist, so I kind of like I kind of vibed with her. But
That is
in
a
general,
rare. Go
yeah,
ahead.
but like in general, I really just like liked the entire cast as a whole. I stopped watching after about, I think, like season 3 though, because when they changed Twilight into an Alarcon, I kind of felt that they like upended the whole balance for me. Like I didn't like how she was elevated above her friends, and I watched a few episodes later, which were fine, but I just couldn't just get that off my mind. And the way the series ends, from what I saw, it's the exact thing that I was scared of. That she's
Oh,
basically sorry.
immortal now. Yeah. No, you
Yeah.
hit it right
So
on the head. The creators
yeah.
knew.
So yeah. So she can die. Her friends will die. Yay, friendship. Fucking idiots. Whatever.
I think
Sorry.
I
Friendship's
think
Just
one of the
forever
comics
until
one of
it's
the
not.
comics dives into that too,
yeah.
because the yellow one ends up with a chaos god, and she eventually grows old. He doesn't. Yeah,
Oh no.
they know how to get
Oh,
dark. So
uh,
we know your OC. Who are the two other characters?
Uh, one is from an ex friend of mine, and no, actually, I think like both of them are from like former friends of mine. I mean, I didn't like fight with them. We just kind of like went our separate ways. Also, somebody is in the chat.
I
I
I
am gonna
saw
get.
that.
I'm gonna get bullied. I'm gonna get bullied as soon as this podcast is over. Fuck my life. Well,
Hey, throw it onto us. We didn't have to show it. We did ask. We didn't want to have you catch any shit.
Look, I completely understand. I let it slip that I watched this back in the day, and I have not been able to fucking shake cars off of my ass since then.
Man, I got
See,
my drawing career started from this, so I owe it a
nice.
lot, actually.
I remember like the first time I started like watch this series, I just didn't understand what the hype was like all about. So I watched the first episode and I thought, huh, this is like pretty well written. It's kind of cool, honestly. So I watched the second one, and then I was like, fuck, now I want to see some more because it kind of reminded me of like Powerpuff Girls and stuff like that, something like from the 90s that I really enjoyed because I used to watch the like Cartoon Network religiously.
It
So
is the same creators, so yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I felt that vibe, and I was like, man, now I want to watch some more. And I was watching the series until like 3 a.m. and I had to get up at like fucking 6 a.m. And I was in college. The first class, I couldn't fucking pay attention. I was literally like sleeping on my desk. I'm like, oh, I can't fucking pay attention. Fuck.
I just saw something in chat, and it just made me think of what Jake is to Humo. You couldn't handle the bullying I bring. Its love is encompassing and oppressive.
I hate that description.
Yeah.
Somebody,
Love
some,
encompassing and oppressive.
It's like a
somebody was asking, do you ever plan on to do a Wani encore after Snoot? No, I don't think that's gonna happen. There is something I could say though regarding to a private project of mine, which I do want to work on after Encore. But I kind of don't want to like take the focus away from like Encore right now. But I do. There is a project that I started to kind of write. So I hope that you will look forward to that after Encore is all said and done.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
this section is about you and your projects. You're free to talk about it if you want to.
Okay. Well, I just don't want to like hype up like people like too early, and also I just I don't want to like take the focus away from Encore. I just want to like say that I have a project in mind that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and um, I'm currently waiting for an engine to be finished first. That's gonna be finished this month, but the feature that I want, which is custom assets, is still gonna be coming later. Once that's done, then I'm gonna like explore this engine and see how easy it is to build things in it. And if it's everything that I'm hoping, then I can make a Snoot game that is a crossover. And I've already started to like write the story. The script is 1/3 done, so like the entire first act is done. I'm working on the second act. I A few people know about it in the dev team. I showed them the script and they like it a lot, so they will do some adjustments if needed. But yeah, like I'm very excited to work on that.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Something coming down the
I'll
pipeline.
definitely try to follow you, and you know, because I am watching your other works now. That's for sure. When that comes out, I'll play it. Oh, question I forgot. Your hardware. What do you use?
Uh, I use a MacBook Pro to work, and I also use one of these basic bamboo tablets to do do the artwork.
That
Nice.
blows me away. You're doing everything with a bamboo, a Wacom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I was
that.
gonna say, like, if you said mouse and keyboard, I was actually gonna kill myself.
You're not joking. Just it's ungodly.
You start off with MacBook. I'm like, oh, please don't.
It's like, is there even gonna be a tablet? It's like, okay, screen tablet, no, regular tablet, okay, track. But he doesn't even use mouse and keyboard. It's just trackpad.
Oy vey.
You ever thought about getting moving up to a full desktop or a screen tablet, or are you content with what you have?
I'm content because my room is like pretty small, so I think I've used up like all the space that I have. So I think I'm just gonna like keep my setup.
No more power to you. That's impressive as hell to me.
Oh yeah, very much so. Like, holy,
Because
like,
that's like a what 11.5 inch. No, the
yeah.
working space is like 9 inches. Because I
I'm not
have
sure.
one.
It's a middle-sized one, so I'm not sure like how many that is. Okay, you know what? Because I can't help myself, I will just show an early sketch of the upcoming project after Encore.
Oh
You
boy.
guys can
Ooh, exclusive.
you guys can show this, and I think I won't have to say much what this is going to
World
to,
premiere.
to BB.
Ayo.
Hey yo.
I'm not gonna say anything. I think if anybody knows, then they know what this is going to be.
Man, I really like it. Yeah, it looks so fucking good, man.
It does, and now I'm having just how you do it in my head. How long would you say this sketch takes you?
It honestly, like sketching things out is sometimes kind of a log-based thing, because sometimes I can sketch things out in just a matter of minutes. Sometimes it takes me an hour. Sometimes it takes me like 4 hours. Like
I
there
feel
are
that.
some days when I feel like I just can't fucking draw, and there are like some days when I draw something like I just fucking like ace it. So like I don't know what happens, what brings that out, like what like brings it out in me.
It's just the
But yeah,
force
well,
of creativity. We understand what you mean. Um, yeah, I'm known for speed somewhat. I can do gestures because I've done it for years, but if I'm trying to get on model, this is going to take hours. Fang specifically is probably the hardest character to draw in the series, in the Snoot verse to me. So seems like you're having a good time with it though. Anything to
okay.
advise?
Sorry, I was
Can you
still looking at it. I'm just so amazed.
can you guys guess what this is? What this might be?
My guess was it was going to be the movie mod because maybe the ropes in the background. That was my guess.
One more.
I would not even be able to hazard a guess. I'm not good at this stuff.
Dude, people are going to go nuts over that image. Go ahead, put the numbers up there.
The
Oh
numerals?
no,
Okay, hold up. Runs over.
the Numa bro's about to
Oh,
bust.
Ace.
Oh boy.
That's one of the best versions of her I've ever seen.
Wait. Wait, I think I know now.
Is it them two living together? Is this going to be the roommate arc?
Mm,
Okay, okay. I guess I'll just drop this then. Hang on.
He
Okay,
wants
I
us to
think I'll
know so
just.
bad.
I'm pretty sure
Sorry,
yep. I fucking knew it as soon as I saw the Naomi one. Like I recognized this pose. Here, I'll flash up what you sent in chat, and people are either gonna get it or they aren't. Simple as.
I guess I'm going to be in the dark for this one.
Yeah, boy, I'd hate to be one of those people who don't get it.
Wait. You
I'm
two
sorry.
don't get it?
Type it in the chat, please.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Across. That's gonna be my future project after I'm done with Encore, and I plan something very special with this.
This is yeah. I'm gonna like this. Oh boy.
Considering there is that didn't someone make a game of this already? I believe
seen-
someone's done a thing with this.
I've seen parodies, but not. I haven't seen like an actual serious attempt at like an actual story with that where this actually does happen. So
I'm actually excited now. I'm surprised I didn't get it.
the closest
So obvious now.
The closest thing I can
Yep.
think is Snoot Attorney Online. and I'm not too privy on how exactly all of that functions.
See, that's what I was talking about because there are people actually doing their own mocks. Because I saw it in the Snoot Encore. They did an announcement. This is a while back.
Right. Yeah, I think Ace added me to that Discord, but I still, or it might not have been Ace. I've been added to it. I just haven't like really had a chance to poke around and see how all of that is functioning. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, fucking, I played the entirety of the first game on stream with the like added, I think, fifth trial. I think it is. Man, I like that game a lot, and I like Snoot game a lot. So this is gonna be kind of really fucking cool.
And just knowing the community, the second you get gifts out of the objection and counterpoint and even any of the Ace Attorney things, it's just gonna flood. Everyone's gonna be using them.
Oh yeah, I'll probably make him into stickers.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna get spammed. Invalid points.
And in invalid points too. You know how people are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
I guess we can open it up to regular questions because
I got one more real quick. You kind of did briefly talk about like as far as like your art style, you're very much like manga influenced. Is there any like artists or like styles that you're like specifically inspired by?
There is one artist who does the Sonic comics. I think it's like Adam Bryce Thomas. I think that's his name. A lot of my artwork, especially how I do the line art, is directly inspired by him. As for colors, for coloring and shading, um, it is kind of inspired by some of the Ace Attorney like styles. Some of the later ones actually, like if you guys seen the official like artwork for the Apollo Justice uh, trilogy, I'm trying to kind of like mimic that style, even though that's very advanced painting. But I'm kind of trying to kind of like mimic that style as much as I can. But yeah, like in general, I really just like a sort of like soft style for my art, because for several years my art has been like pretty sharp, like sharp shaded, which is fine, but I kind of want to like pivot towards something a bit more softer. Like
Yeah, I could see that.
and you definitely chose some of the best Sonic art that comic line ever had to offer. Because
yeah,
did you read the full Archie line?
the Archie one I didn't. I am
IDW.
reading the IDW one. Yeah. I know a few parts of the Archie. Uh, I
Even
I I have a friend of mine who is a massive fan of Camp Enders. So
oh no, I was about to get to that. Uh, Ironically or like legitimately?
No, he actually fucking hates him.
Okay. I mean, he was literally the death of that comic.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna
He
say,
told me.
the if you haven't read it, just go through the history. You don't have to read it. Just look at how many lead artists they went through for that comic line, because you have some of the most insane shaped, colored, off-model facial expressions. It was wild what it went through in its 30-year lifespan. And then Ken Penders, may God have mercy on his soul. Um, you can check out his solo project that he's actually getting off the ground. It's
I
yeah,
I read one chapter of the Lana Sue or whatever the fuck
yep, Laura
that
Sue.
thing is called. Like like I couldn't comprehend what the fuck it was going on. And actually the most funniest thing, it's called the Lara Sue Chronicles. he doesn't appear for the entire fucking chapter or like the like in the entire like issue. I'm just like, where's the main character?
Hey, Humo, can you put that up on the screen right there?
Oh boy.
So within the comic, just for context, because of how they did the falling out, he was in charge of all of the Echidna clan. They were his designs,
There it is.
and he argued that because he designed them, which he was only the key artist, he was not the one that actually did all the paneling, that they
Yeah.
were his and he could take them because he had a falling out with Sega. So what they did is they did a soft genocide of Knuckles' entire race, and then wrote him out of the story. And this is where they ended up.
Yeah.
Man, I'm about to do a poll here, but I look at this cover and I just think of Crash Bandicoot Retold, if anyone knows what that is. And if you don't, good, because it's like, imagine Sonichu, but worse.
Okay, there has been some good Sonichu art, though. I've been following CWC for a while.
I just looked up Crash Bandicoot Retold.
Why would you do that?
Because you can't just say, oh, if you know, you know, and if you know, you don't, that's good, and expect me to not look.
I'm sorry. Don't dig any further. That's not reverse psychology either. That's me being merciful.
Looks like I'm digging more. Here
No.
we go. Diving in.
There's that yellow creature that looks like it has cookies on its skin. That thing has some horrific things done to her.
Is that fucking Super Saiyan Crash Bandicoot?
If anybody needs to know what they're talking about, just imagine Tails gets trolled, but it's Crash.
Oh my god, you're so fucking right.
I was about to say that the last weird cringe comment that I read was Tails gets trolled, and even that was like, what the fuck is going on?
Hey, some people have MS Paint and a lot of creativity.
They sure fucking do.
Imagine I'm nudging Humo with my elbow, my puppet elbow. Like there's a Loud House fanfic that's getting written right now. You don't even have to know the show to know. It might be a little bit cancerous when it's 27 times the length of the Bible.
What was the price I put on that?
1 million.
I feel like I need to up that.
No, you already said it.
I know I did.
We already started the fundraiser.
Oh yeah, you started funneling the money towards that?
It's only like 700 plus chapters currently.
I'm gonna.
And you do a chapter a week.
I swear to God, Lanny's made me look at like the actual content of that before, and it was like a run-on sentence with like 500 descriptors for a sword, and I was like, oh, it makes sense now how it's so fucking long.
Yeah, the Subspace Emissary is better written, and that's absolutely insane. Because it was the previous longest fanfiction. Because it was all of Smash Bros. As a coherent universe.
Well, you just said coherent, so yeah, I would assume it's better written.
Well, they try to make everything like, why are they all sharing universe? What happened? They try to make an actual story out of it.
Mm.
To bring in our guest again, you said you rarely have time, but have you read any fan fiction? Especially for any fandom?
I don't really like have too much time to like read. Like I don't really have that much time to play games either. So like I sometimes have to like take some sort of like forced breaks to just to like play stuff. Like I have to like take like 3 days off or like 4 days off to play Astrobot or Silent Hill 2, the remake. Both are really fucking good by the by. So, but yeah, like I don't know, like if I read like any fan fiction. I don't think I have.
Well, this leads into an advertisement for my good man right here. What do you listen to while you draw, or do you keep it silent? Because there's some master cuts that Humo has.
Oh boy.
You're not doing it.
Yeah. Why read fan fiction when someone can do it for you?
Sometimes I listen to podcasts. Sometimes I listen to video game music or retro stuff. I mean, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, as you guys probably like
I did see that. Yes.
guessed. Yes. So I like retro music. I like video game stuff or podcasts usually.
Just throw a question out there. What's your favorite song off the Wani soundtrack?
My favorite song is the Muddy
Muddy
Wheelchair.
Wheelchair. Yeah.
It is a good
I
one.
think it's just very, very well done.
I personally am a Green Spectre lad, but that's I feel like that's just a go-to for a handful of people. That and Stego Starry Night. Stego Starry Night's also really good.
What was the quote-unquote E1 song?
I do not remember, man. Someone else can definitely be able to get that one for me.
It's actually he's the one who is very, very, very much in love with Mia.
Oh,
Oh, we have another
so it
one.
makes sense. He likes the gator in a coma.
A coma
I
gator, if you will.
wasn't insinuating that, but yeah, okay.
Look, we've dealt with a bunch of Mia heads at this point. Like they're all over the spectrum. You know, you've got
Hey,
the ones
you've
who are just
reformed
like,
2 of them.
I don't know if I've reformed anybody. It's not like I'm out here running a fucking like charity or something where I'm like, we'll bring in all of the Mia lovers and we'll rehabilitate them. No, I just look at them and I'm like, wow. And I look at Mia and I'm like, really?
Hey, I love how much of a swerve it was when we found out Bui was a Mia
Oh
fan.
man, that sucks.
Oh, that was great.
So it's track 11, Otis Halford.
Oh, there you go. Well, if
I guess we
In
should
fact,
open it up to chat questions.
yeah, I was gonna
Unless
say
you got more.
no, I don't got
Okay.
any off the top of my head. So if anybody in chat wants to drop questions, go ahead and feel free. This is the open Q&A segment. While you populate that, though, I will hop over to the Discord because we did get a couple questions prior to the spotlights that we can ask.
Jake's awake.
What?
I have
Jake's awake.
if it's okay, I have one last tease for that whole Ace Attorney thing.
Yeah, go
Let's
for it.
go.
Okay, and then I'm done with the teasers.
Oh,
Here's
boy.
Ooh, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's a tease, all right.
That's amazing.
the prosecutor.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah, while we're pulling up questions, other than the Ace Attorney and like Encore, do you have any other projects, whether like big or small, that you're working on?
No. So like Encore, and this is the only things that I'm working on. I do plan on doing a side scroller action game with my friends after I'm done with like at least when I'm done with like Encore, then I will start that while I also do this.
Right on.
He's like Dev in real life.
Whoa.
Shut up.
What's fiction mirroring reality?
Oh, okay. Because a lot of questions, refer to your main source of work, which we can't openly discuss. Is your glue brush its own brush, or do you draw that by hand? Because if it is, I would very much like a copy of it.
The brush that I use is the built-in one to
Really, that's a
Clip
G
Studio.
pen?
Yeah. Like it's hang on, I actually have like a Clip Studio like open up. It's the
So do I have it open.
Me too.
let's see, which one is this? I have to get up for a second. It's the round watercolor brush. So it's the standard. Like
And watercolor.
with-
Really?
with
I
the-
will have
with-
to.
with the stabilization set to 33, and that's it. Like That's all I do.
What's your texture density and edge?
None. Like there's no texture whatsoever. It's just the brush itself. Like the anti-aliasing is, it's sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but I don't have like any other setting for it.
Thank you for that. I
No,
will
no
be
props.
practicing with it.
I will also do that.
I will also do that.
You fucking better. You just brought it up. I want to see you draw it now.
Yeah. Right. I can't wait for the next churro pick.
Man, moving on to the next little
Be
questions
eating
here.
burgers.
Yeah, stuffed Cheeros.
Oh my
She's doing-
god. Shut up.
I was gonna say something about burgers, but I don't want to now.
The
All right.
4x4.
So we've got. I'm fucking squinting. You know, you really did bring the Jake. He woke up and started to pass on the energy to you. I feel
Churro 4x4? Oh, like the burger?
like
Like
the
the
burger.
burger?
All right. We got one from Wearisome
Welchy
here.
Italian noises.
This one's one that he always asks every guest, much in line with Cars asking about ponies to every guest. The question is, Transformers 1, have you watched it?
Nope.
There you go.
Bummers.
Okay, hold up a sec. I gotta pump the fucking brakes. You always been the
Is that like-
dirty-minded here, Humo. Fuck you, Lassiter.
Wait, like is Transformers one that like new version where the Transformers have like human faces and tongues?
I think it's just the newest movie. It's like prequel.
Because there's one where they have like very, very humanish faces, and people brought up how they have tongues as well, and someone just like did like all sorts of like fan art about that.
I haven't seen tongues, but yeah, I think they have more like human-like faces. I haven't watched it, so All right. And then we got one from A1R 1v3, which
He's
I think
not
is
wrong.
supposed to be
There's
Area
there's
V3.
tongues.
Is there tongues?
That's it. That's
yeah.
it. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
Hold up a sec.
you can see it flick when he does the roll. The L.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Does that mean they
I'll
choose
never
the
be able to
taste?
unsee that. Thanks for that.
Do they always just taste metal then?
That means you can get licked by a transformer.
Oh, shut up. I
Whoa,
don't want
would
to
it be
think
like
about
a
that.
cat? Like
You're
just like
already
stab
inside
paper?
of them. Don't worry about it.
Ah! This is the worst. How did you pivot like this?
Jake
Pivot?
woke up. We had to impress.
His legacy has to be carried on.
No, it doesn't. Let it die.
Let the long-haired redhead be unhinged.
All right. Area V3, Dragon GF or Werewolf GF? Is there some backing to that one? Like, was that something that's happened recently?
It depends. I mean, dragons are fucking gigantic. Werewolves are taller than normal, so it kind of depends. If the dragon is like as tall as the werewolf, then I'll go with like either.
Can the dragon transform?
I was gonna say, how tall are you?
I am 5'8".
Woohoo! Someone else under 6 foot.
My server constantly like bullies me about how short I am. So
You and me both, brother.
I'm also 128 pounds. So like I'm pretty lightweight
Holy
and small.
hell.
You're equipable.
Yeah. yeah.
5'8" and 130?
Yeah, like
I could curl you.
We made this like constant joke on the server that if I was in a fighting game, I wouldn't be a fighter. I would be an item.
Yeah, not even a trophy.
Yes, like an item, like or like a battering ram or somebody from the backdrop that you can just like pick up and fucking toss at your like enemies like a ragdoll.
Oh, like Mortal Kombat X. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just don't know what reality we stepped in where 5'8" is small. You know what I mean? Like, I I feel like if you're like 5'2", then it's like, okay, yeah, you're on the smaller side of things. But like I feel like 5'8" is like, yeah, just about at the average, you know? Then again, there's the fucking tall people are very vocal about being tall. You will never find anyone over 6 foot not like boasting about it. Cope time, whatever. I'm moving on with the fucking questions.
Yeah, apparently they talked about this enough in their server.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, like my friend there, Black Frost, he's 6'5", and we make constant jokes about how he's so tall that he can't hear me every single time I yell at him.
Anybody who like talks about being tall, I just look at them and think in my head, I could push you over. You'd fall like a big old domino. You know, I just realized, looking at the questions here, we didn't ask the Apple question.
Well, I was trying to avoid it.
Yeah, but it's there, so of course. You know, Vise, how about you do the Apple question, buddy? Pushes the mic towards you.
Ruffy,
Here's some.
can you see
some-
the apple?
Yeah. I don't know what that is. I don't know
Can
what you're
you-
talking about, and I'm scared.
So, can you envision an apple in your head?
Yeah,
How detailed is it?
very like fully detailed.
Can you spin it around?
Yeah.
Well, Humo,
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I don't want to. I don't want to
So-
be looked at right now.
Humo cannot imagine the apple.
It's not that I can't imagine the apple. It's just that I don't pull it up in fucking Blender. All right. I have to like fucking collage it with memories. So all right.
Humo's got a not.
Oh. So the reason behind that question is because there's something called aphantasia, and people essentially, for those who don't know, can only see the apple in certain a certain amount. There's people like you who are don't have aphantasia at all and can perfectly see that apple in your head. Me on the other hand, I cannot. I only have like vague recallings of what the apple should look like, and it's in like a very misty mind space.
So basically, you're fantastic.
You better put that as a tag.
No. That is not getting added as a fucking tag. Also, I've thrown this art up on the screen. What am I looking at, E?
Okay, so like we were talking about how short I am and how my friend Black Frost is like 6'5", so I can mission somebody to like draw this picture.
Tony Matzo. I think that's what that says. Or is it Tony Matt 2D? By the way, very good art pictures. Okay. Next we have a question from Receiver K. Genuine question. What has the team/art department response to all the feedback in discourse following the demo? We kind of already covered that one earlier on, so I'll just go ahead and slide on to the next one, which was from Lassiter. And he felt the need to, I just want to point this out real quick. He felt the need to ask this in both the pre-stream in the Discord and during the stream. So he really wants this one answered. Who is best Snoot Girl and why is it Judy? If you can't tell, he has a bias.
Classic Lassiter.
I mean, I really do like Judy and her like overall design. So I really hope that we can actually like feature her in an animated cutscene as well.
Oh, there you go. And that's all of the ones that we had on the Discord side. So now I can start picking through the YouTube side of things. We got one from Mad Devil's Eye. Have you seen other visual novel games?
Uh, I've tried a visual novel on Steam, but I forget the name. But it was really, really well done. In fact, I was kind of like taking some ideas from it for like Encore, like some of how the character sprites are like done. I think that they actually did do like a mouth movement, which is something that we can do. Like we had that did the discussion like early on, and I was advised not to like do it because Snoot game wasn't built around that. You would kind of have to like build the whole game starting with that, like in order to synchronize the text to the mouth movements. Um, I really wish I remember what the name was called. It had like a voice acting, and also it was really really nice. Like other visual novels that I played. Well, I didn't play it, but I watched a friend of mine is Slay the Princess, which is
Mm.
also built in a
Mhm.
RumpI, and it's honestly really really fucking good. Other than that, usually my forte for visual novels is the Ace Attorney series and all the spin-offs.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I actually need to play Slay the Princess still. It's on my pile of things to get around to. It's been recommended a couple times to me, and I would like to try it out. I know other than that, like visual novel wise, I'm always a big proponent for fucking Katawa. That one's a great one.
Ah, so good.
Yeah.
Katawa Encore win.
That'd be kind of cool, but all right, let's see. Okay, so got a question from the senator. Do you see the pepper? All right. So this one's just going to be an explanation of a previous guest we had on, Jandis Draws, Jobama. When he was asked to do the imagine the apple in his head, he was being guided by Jake. And Jake said, "Do you see the apple?" And Joe was like, "Yeah, I see the apple." And then Jake said, "Hey, all right, turn the apple in your head." And he says, "Oh, I turned the apple and it turned into a pepper." Um,
Oh.
don't know how he managed to anamorph an apple into a pepper in his brain. I can't even see the apple in the first place, so I have to imagine it was quite. I, I don't know. Man's is pepper maxing, I
I'm
guess.
guessing I'm guessing uh guessing that he has a lot of thoughts in his head. Very his mind is like full of a lot of information, very chaotic. So things just sort of like project to themselves because it's sometimes hard to keep like all of your thoughts in like order. So maybe he was having trouble like visualizing one thing before something else like kind of just like took its place, just like just like out of the like suddenly.
Yeah.
That's my guess anyway.
I mean, it makes sense. I just wonder why a pepper specifically. I guess it's because it was red and he just associated the red with the pepper and then naturally just blended over.
He just has spicy thoughts.
Hey.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
one way of putting it.
Well, I mean, he was getting all philosophical. I thought I'd just throw in a joke.
Mm-hmm. Got a question from Narp Narperson. Question for everyone. What's your favorite 40k faction? Disregard question if it goes for too long. We got time. I mean,
Emperor's
I
Children for me.
I don't play that, so sorry.
yeah. Vice. Are you 40k pilled at all?
I played Dark Tide. Whatever faction that is.
Yeah. You like the Ogren?
Yeah.
Grug helped loot.
Yeah.
Where's your boneheads? You go
I
find a
want
commissar.
Man,
Rhodesian.
I am not very 40k pilled. However, I think the salamanders are cool. Though I feel like that's kind of like a basic take.
No, that's a based take. If you had said the Ultramarines, that's very basic.
Oh, is
I
it
think you're good.
the blueberries are the basic take?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, all right. Let's see. We got any other questions here? It's
I can throw in one because
yep.
we should have asked it earlier. You've been a professional career artist and you've had decades of experience. What recommendations or advice would you give to not only new artists, but just artists that are kind of struggling with where they're at? Be it on how
Uh,
to work, how to move forward, art block,
Observe.
getting
Um,
jobs.
Getting jobs, I'm not sure because I'm kind of privileged in what I'm doing. But what I can say is to don't ever stop observing and learning. Like always just browse for art, see different styles, try to kind of like mimic it, try to like and analyze how something is like built, how an artist like does this or that. Like never stop trying to improve your art. Never get complacent. Never feel that this is the best that you can do because you can always do better. Because I know somebody who did that and their art went to fucking shit. So like um, always be ambitious to try new things to improve, and don't ever think of yourself lesser because somebody else can do like better art. There's always gonna be somebody who has more skill with something like, um, and collaborating is also fun, and it's never a weakness. So like I hope I don't sound like a full of myself right now. Like when I'm doing the work for like Encore, um, I try to like collaborate with people. That's why I have an assistant, because I know that I have weaknesses when it comes to drawing certain parts of the body. So I ask him to help out with that. So um, yeah, so keep learning, keep observing, practice, and um, don't ever feel like you that you can do it. Just be ambitious and be brave. Like, and don't ever like, if someone tells you that you are that you are like crap at something, that's gonna happen. Like you will be insulted, you are gonna be attacked. That happens. That's something you will just have to grow a thick skin. But but don't ever stop learning. Don't ever stop pursuing uh, getting better. That's what I can say. Also, can you guys please flash this art that I just posted in the thing for a friend of mine who was in the chat somewhere.
While
Oh
you're
yeah.
doing that, I was going to throw in uh, the Snoot community, oddly enough, is one of the most endearing and like supportive I've ever seen. Unless you have an OC or a furry, because for some reason a lot of Snoot fans don't see Scalies as furries, and that makes me laugh very hard.
Dirty friggin' furries. Looks at the
Yeah,
dino
Oh,
wives.
get your OCs out of my human-focused media. That one will always make me
uh,
laugh.
yeah. The thing is that if I do like if I do like a cameo with my OC, I will probably have to slightly alter his style to fit the world of Snoot game kind of, because he's just a an anthro gecko. So I haven't seen such in the Snootverse, so I will so we'll have to like do some like changes to like fit in. But yeah, like I don't know, like I ca- I I kind of feel that scale is kind of like fit into to the whole Snootverse thing. But yeah,
Yeah, no, 100%. Um, and that's just because for some reason a Canadian development team wanted to use dinosaur anthros. Um, just because Lassiter brought it up, have you seen Deadass Spider's work, and what do you think of it?
uh, Jedi Spider. I'm not sure who that is. Can you like show an example?
Oh,
Can
please let me
we?
find. Yeah, please let me find some. Do you
That's
want older or modern?
it's gonna be
Um,
kind of tough. I don't know like what all you can show from like his stuff.
I will find the least sweaty.
Okay. Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Ranger Ted's wife is the Anthromouse in Wani.
Yeah, that's canon.
Dang. Do you think there's like a furry scaly like race war in what like in the
Oh,
Snootverse?
you know there was
That's
one
why
at
we
least
don't
at
see him.
one point.
Is that like what the Civil War was?
It, I'll leave that to the people who actually write to determine.
All right, writers. Free idea.
That looks really really nice. that also looks really really nice.
Okay. He has a interesting notoriety in the community.
Oh, I think I. But yeah, I know. I remember who you're talking about now. Okay.
It seems to be similar to the Kinpinder situation.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Uh.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't read like the whole fucking like Wani development doc. Maybe I should at some point.
Your next
Yeah,
reading
that'll be
stream.
a stream.
I don't know about that, dog. I don't know if I want to
Yeah,
open up
please
that
don't.
can of worms on stream.
Also, please don't, because that takes away none in the chamber, and we're so close.
We are really fucking close to getting done with that, man. Holy shit.
It'll
I
be
mean,
very cathartic.
it's technically done, right? All that's left is the
Yeah.
epilogue shit.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
So there is a finish line.
Next year, I'll be able to start reading another fic. Yippee.
Yay.
Okay, we got
Can't
another...
wait for like...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask another question, if you want to say something real quick.
No, I was just say I can't wait for the big omnibus of short stories that you do like after None in the Chamber.
Yeah. Just fucking rapid fire.
Just like 8 stories of like 1,000 words or less.
It'll
Just
be
like,
nice.
Done,
Cathartic even.
done.
All right. We got another question from Mad Devil's Eye. Any collab you want Encore to mix with another franchise? Or imagine what Encore could be in another video game universe. I assume that's asking if like there would be any other like references you'd want to see added into Encore, kind of like similar to like the home movies, Coach McGirt.
There will be a few more.
Which obviously
Oh, you heard it here first.
Yeah, like you guys haven't seen the substitute teacher yet, so that's one more franchise that is gonna be a crossover. And
Can you say if
think
it's
there's-
male or female?
not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Just you guys are gonna see.
Okay,
But,
because a
yeah,
lunch lady like almost broke another dev team. So
God, I fucking
That
hate
was
that
great.
whole thing.
seeing if it's gonna happen again.
All right. Let's see here. One more question from the senator. Have you read Berserk?
No, but I heard of it, and I heard that it's pretty good.
All right, same page as me then. I have not read
good.
it, but it has been recommended many times, especially since a lot of the media I enjoy is inspired by it. But
Anything from FromSoft.
oh, yeah, the fucking like, give me my Guts cosplay in DS3. But
I don't know who this is, but they're awesome.
Complete with all the trauma.
Well, yeah.
Puts on the armor, trauma just hits. No.
You experience 1,000 red phantom invades all at the same time.
Instead of faux vanquish, it's therapy needed.
All right. I think we're all wrapped up on questions, though. I don't. Unless
Hold
I
on,
missed
you
something.
got one on Twitch side from Vice, longtime viewer. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and read that question?
Yeah. When you do decide to take a break from art, what is a guilty pleasure you like to indulge in?
I play a lot of games, so like I usually play on my Switch or on my PS5. So and I have like a backlog of like games to really play. or like other times I stream something with my friends. We watch like South Park, or we actually have been watching a couple of series that I haven't heard of yet. One was Fringe. The other one was Person of Interest. But both series is something that I highly recommend. So we watch South Park. We also watch Archer. That's a favorite of mine, and I kind of want to do like a cameo from like Archer in Encore somewhere, honestly. Um,
That'd
but
be
yeah,
funny
so
just to find
It,
someone try to like to
just
do like a
Archer as the
impersonation.
superintendent just makes me laugh.
like okay, so like if we were to like do a cameo from Archer, I would definitely like do the same art style that like Archer has for the characters with like the thick lines and everything.
That'd be funny. It
Um,
would also be funny because if you did get it voiced, you could have like whoever does McGurk can also do Archer
You could
because that's the same
appeal to
person.
the actual voice actor. He might show up. I see him on Twitter.
Just walk over, tug on his shirt. Excuse me, sir.
Please voice my Dino game, please.
Although I don't think Fox would actually let him do his character.
He's
He would have
just
to be
his
called
voice,
something
though.
else. Yeah, he would have to be called something else,
Yeah, fair.
like Archer.
Archer.
That's so dumb.
I hate
Well, hold
it.
on, hold on.
I love it.
Archer is for archery. What's another? What Lancer? Yeah, his name is Lancer.
Like from Deltarune?
No, because he uses
Yeah.
the lance.
Mmm.
Oh, Senator has a very important question.
Oh my god. Yeah, go for it. You can take this one.
Would you rather have infinite bacon but no games, or infinite games but no games?
what?
Yeah, it's a real thinker. So
I mean,
I'll say it
I,
again. Like, I mean, it's infinite bacon, infinite bacon, but there's no games. So you have no games to play, but you have infinite bacon. But you can have infinite games. But with those infinite games, you have no games.
I mean, thing is, because of like health reasons, I can't have bacon, so I guess I will take my chance with the games, but no games. I don't know.
Ah, that was a
Don't worry, it's a shit take question. uh
To be fair, you're getting the brain rot light of what these usually are.
oh god, yes.
we got one from Arthur here. Snoot Morphology. How big is too big?
Meaning that the characters, like how tall is just too tall for canon, or
I suppose so. I
God,
I,
I'd
I
hope
guess
so.
I think you can go like any which way with that one.
Yeah, like Ferris being huge, or Liz being tall, or just Stacy.
Stacy is
well,
pretty
I
big.
think the tallest character we have is Leo right now. I think he's the like tallest character. I kind of also feel that he should be a little bit taller in Encore. I kind of feel like he should like reach like the top of the screen. Um,
You are one of the only, because I actually got into a little thing with Bonds, the artist for Hold On to Me. The sprites do not have to necessarily reflect the true heights. It seems like you guys kind of do that.
yeah, like what we are trying to kind of like do is have the cutoff on the bottom of the screen, sort of the knee area. So all of the characters are pretty much their accurate height. Because I think like the original Snoot game has like Fang that's like really tall, but her sprite is like only like half down the middle to make her actually like as tall as like Anon or like slightly shorter, but her actual full size sprite, like Anon, is just like a whole head shorter, I think, than her or like two heads. I think.
Also, this is embarrassing, but we forgot to ask a very important question.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Snoot character?
I honestly, thing is, Naomi is honestly really cute if she wasn't so manipulative. I like I like goth girls, so Fang is also a good option. I'm also kind of a nerd and I like anime, so Stella is also a good option. You know, like this is kind of hard because like um a wholesome girl like Rosa is also a good option. Trish Trish is the kind of girl that you tolerate because she's a fucking champ in bed, I guess. Uh, who else is left?
You know the community is going to have like a creative roar when, your Rosa is revealed, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm gonna roar.
I mean, I think you guys have like seen Rosa. Like we had like several um updates on like X where we showed off Stella and Rosa. It's just they weren't colored, or did we not?
Yeah, no, you showed like the line art of it, and
Yeah,
like,
okay,
yeah,
okay. So
already exciting.
yeah,
And I
like
believe
I
that
don't
there
have
was a
I don't have
Rosa
memory.
voice teaser.
Yes, which was
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, she's like really good.
Yeah.
I also really like the actress for uh Naomi. Like even though she has like her voice is like shrill, but but it's kind of perfect, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Oh
perfect
yeah,
for the
no, it
role.
hits it. Yeah, right on the dot. And
Especially when she drops the saccharine act and like her true voice comes out, not that fake high pitched
mm-hmm.
one. It's
Yeah.
perfect. Right amount of venom.
Yeah. And speaking of like favorite characters, the reason I brought that up was because I saw a question from Callard saying, "Who's your favorite and least favorite character to draw?"
Um, I don't really have any character that I dislike. It's just some of them are a little bit more harder than like others. Well, least favorite character I guess would be I guess Spears because I'm just like into the scalies a lot more than drawing humans. So
Fair.
also like uh I'm very used to drawing more skinnier characters. So when I have to like draw um Ripley, that's a little bit harder because he's so like big and everything. So I'm not really like used to it. Also, I just remembered that some people said that I draw the clothes a little bit like skin tight. Maybe a little bit. I'm trying to kind of like fix that. But to be fair, in my defense, some of the characters do wear kind of like skinny jeans, so that kind of like
Yeah.
checks out. So
Okay. Let me pop over real quick. I think I want to say that that's about all the questions, right? I'm not missing any. Looking in the YouTube
Well,
chat.
one just popped up in YouTube.
Oh yeah, there it is. Uh, this is from IBBI the Fennec. Do you have ways or tricks to overcome creative blocks, or do you just wait on it?
hello, AB. Uh, the way the way I overcome it is that I just draw. Like since I have like a schedule and I have to finish like work. I can't really like think if I'm feeling like drawing or not. I just have to, and it'll just like kind of like taper off. Like the whole like block thing will just like taper off because I just like start um doing work. Sometimes you just gotta like uh brute force it. Listening to music is always good. Like if you listen to music that's kind of like connected to what you are drawing, then that'll help inspire you and to help make a better product. So that can be like a way to overcome it.
All right, there you go. And Cars has a question. I think it's a fucking pony related question. Thoughts on Starlight? Unless it's something that I'm not aware of. That's the only Starlight I think I've heard of. The deafening silence gives
Yeah,
me
but
no
I think
answer.
that's like season 4. He said he stopped at season 3.
Well, how am I to know? I only recall vaguely about those darn poners.
Dang, can't believe you didn't know that. God.
Oh my god, Vice stares at you.
Tee-hee.
Alright. Unless a fucking question comes in literally right now, I think we're done. I think we're good. But yeah, I think we go ahead and wrap her up for today. We're at the 3 hour 40 mark. Like I think Kev said at the beginning, these hours fly by real fucking fast before you know it. So it is a good enough time. I'll open up the floor if you have any other closing remarks you want to make before we end this off.
Not really. Like I just want to say that I am very 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 happy to have been here. I had a lot of fun. Um, I talked myself silly, so but yeah, like this was very very fun, and I can't wait to show more from like Encore and hopefully a second demo. If there is gonna be like a second demo, it's probably gonna be the end of like next year. So don't expect it like anytime sooner. But yeah, like I'm gonna be going back to work. It's been fun, and I hope that maybe someday I can come on here again and like talk about something. Maybe it's gonna be about my project after Encore.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a pleasure having you on, and I'm sure everybody, be it the people in this room right now or in the chat, are looking forward to anything that you're putting out related to Encore or any of your future endeavors.
Thank you.
But yeah, chat, anybody who's sticking around, I hope you had a good time watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. Probably will be a stream tomorrow. So look out for an announcement regarding that. But until then, from everybody here, take care.
Bye-bye. You'll have a good one.
Bye.